got a precept?
Verse 30, verse 4. Who have ascended up into heaven, or descended? Who have gathered the wind in his fist? Who have bound the waters in a garment? Who have established all the ends of the earth? What is his name, and what is his son's name, as thou can tell?
Yeah, so if you really can't tell, man, you're really blind and you can't really see, then hey, we obviously can tell that the name of the Lord, when you go into the Hebrew, the name of the Heavenly Father is a 4-letter word, in the Hebrew, which is Yahweh. And then you go into the name of the Son, it's Yahweh Shai. And you're supposed to look these things up because, first of all, like I just brought up, you might have a Christian asking, well, okay, so why does the KJV, not have the name of the Lord? Why does it say Jesus? Well, you got to understand that's prophecy that we will basically lose the name of the Lord. We'll lose our heritage. And I'm referring to us Israelites. And also, the Lord doesn't want everybody to call upon his name. The Lord wants to deceive. If we get, a brother, give me Matthew 13 and 10.
Matthew 13, verse 10. And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables? And he answered and said unto them,
yeah, because we know Yahushua, whenever he spoke, whenever he was preaching, he's speaking in parables. So go ahead.
Verse 11.
Well, if a brother can give me the definition of parable, because you might have a Jake, you don't know what parable means.
Got it?
I'm about to get it.
Yeah, he got it.
You got it now?
It means,
Hebrew. No, it's Greek.
no, just read it.
You got
The Greek definition of parable in the verse.
It's parabole, a placing of one thing by the side of another. Juxtaposition, as of a ship in a battle, is a metaphor.
Yeah, it says definition 2, metaphor.
Yeah.
So basically, for example, it was one of the parables that Yahushua used was, basically the master leaving the house and the servants, being there, basically making sure that they keep the house. That represents Yahushua departing from the world. Of course, his servants, keeping the ministry, the church.
Yeah. We're stewards too under Yahushua.
Yeah, stewards.
So you had obviously different riddles, like the Lord was speaking. And you make a lot of different earthly similarities between heavenly things and such, But, you of course, got to be spiritual to understand it. You can't be a carnal man to understand, obviously, these scriptures. The way that, the Lord speaks is very poetic and such.
Yep.
Very, very, and like I said, these words are very descriptive too and heavy.
Yep.
Especially when we go and bring it all the way back to the Hebrew and such. Yahweh Shai, be the deliverer. All right?
Yep. Yeah, and when you go into one of the parables that Yahweh Shai brought out was, basically to eat his flesh. And you got a lot of Jakes who you got a lot of Jews or Judites. They completely just departed from the Lord.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just right when he said that.
More with him.
Yeah, they completely departed from it because they didn't understand it.
Oh, yeah, we gotta get this other piece up. We'll get it. Carnal, man. Yeah. And that's because they carnal, A lot of Jake, they don't understand, the spirit and such. All right? Which, they just specifically that, carnal. They not spiritual. The Lord coming, of course, to raise up spiritual men, not carnal men and such, okay? Simple as that. Yeah, Romans chapter, I think that's Romans chapter 8. Romans chapter 8. You got it? All right,
No.
all right. This is Romans chapter 8 and verse 7. So I get this thing ain't gonna buggy. Romans chapter 8 and 7. I'm actually reading a bit above. It says, I'm going to start at verse 5. It says, for they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit.
Exactly. So those who are after the flesh mind the things of the flesh. They mind the carnal things.
Right. Which would be what? The things in which your flesh itself desires, the voluptuousness and such, sensuality, feeling, pleasure, right? The things of the spirit, a lot of things of the spirit, what? Require what? Discipline. All right? It
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice. It takes also temperance. You have to, what is it? You a lot of times you gotta like have good self-government and such, you know?
Yeah, you need temperance.
Yeah, yep. And a lot of Jake, they're not willing to do that, right? Yeah, especially to come out, like I say, and preach out here in the rain or whatever condition, wake up in the morning.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you know, that's a great sacrifice you gotta make. You know, a lot of Jake, they're not willing, you know, to make a sacrifice. They're not willing to put themselves out here.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want to be seen. You know, they're too lazy.
Yeah.
You know, so that's because they're after the things of the flesh. They mind the carnal things.
Right. Like I said, it's a big sacrifice when we come out here and do this work. Like, but it's, like I said, like the scriptures say, what it say, my burden is light. Or something like that.
Yeah. Hey, at the end of the day, this is nothing, man, compared to what we're going to receive. And Paul, he had a vision, or he literally seen what we were going to see, man. Or what we're going to receive.
Right.
You know? And then what he said, basically, it doesn't compare to, you know, but basically what we're doing now doesn't compare to what we're going to receive.
Yeah, it's like, we said we're doing this for a little season. It's not even that long. Like, you know, we woke up, brothers woke up and then for specific times and such. And like you say, trade off. You even say, even for the apostles, trade off in this carnal year time, 30 years, 35 years, etc. You get an eternity sitting on the 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel with everything in joint heirs with Yahweh. What kind of trade-off is that? Remember, even Manasseh, Moses, we had to get that scripture. He traded being with his people, then to enjoy time for a season, right? We had to get that scripture and stuff, and that's what the men of the Lord will do. They're gonna have to sacrifice things of the world for the things of the Lord. Okay, that's why we are stewards and such. You know, we were given and entrusted this work, and we gotta go and fulfill it and stuff. And hey, for me, like I say, if it's Esau already know I'm not coming in on Saturday. He probably know deep down, the guy ain't gonna come in. Don't ask me either, because I'm not gonna come in, and that's just the sacrifice. Even if you might, I can get a couple dollars, fuck it. The Lord will give me the extra dollars coming down the line, however way he work it out. I don't need it. And that's how we gotta start thinking of things, a lot of things. This stuff getting more and tighter, you know? Where you're gonna have to start to be like, all right, if this person, like what's that, cut it off, you know? We gotta do a lot of trimming, right? Time.
Got that precept you want?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hebrews 11, verse 24. By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. Verse 25, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of the Heavenly Father than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season.
Yeah, that right there is a righteous sacrifice. You know, and the Lord, the Lord tests every single brother, man, or every single servant of the, every servant that the Lord has, he tests him. Yeah. You know, just like Moses, you know, the Lord presented Moses, you know, hey, you know, so would you want to do this or would you want to, you know, do that? Yeah. And of course, Moses, he chose righteously, and he chose to be with his people instead of being, you know, getting a whole bunch of riches, man, under Pharaoh. Yeah. You know, so hey, at the end of the day, Moses, he didn't sell out like a lot of these Israelites do, or you know, like a lot of these Israelites do. They sell out, man, to Esau.
I appreciate it. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 6. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth.
Exactly, man. So, hey, at the end of the day, the Lord chastens his sons. You know, if the Lord doesn't chasten you, then hey, that might be a sign that he's not dealing with you. That's why I see a lot of these Jakes, you know, those sinners will live 100 days, basic paraphrasing. You know, so as a lot of these jakes out here, you be seeing them, they be doing whatever, man, but they don't receive any type of judgment. That's because the Lord's long-suffering, and you know, he's letting these, you know, certain people build up their iniquities, you know, their sins, so he can have a harder judgment for them.
Yep. I got another precept for y'all. This Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 23. A patient man will bear for a time, and afterward joy shall spring up unto him.
Exactly. Because what? The patient man, he you know, he basically understands, you know, what's the true riches. You know, so that's like us. We at the end of the day, you know, we understand what the true riches are. And of course, that's the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. And of course, we do this work. So, you know, what's the wrong one to use? Slut. We basically, you know, increase our spiritual bank account.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, yeah, we here multiplying. Goodbye. You know, we remember the Lord gave us money, and He looking for us to flip it. You know, we not just out here, like I said, out there like you thinking it's just you. Nah, hey, Lord got you raising up the elect. You know, so your contribution to the ministry is relies on what the Lord gonna also bring in too. You know, so the Lord actually want interest, man. Just put it that way.
Yeah, the parable with the talents.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, brother, get that. It just breaks it down.
Oh, yeah.
See, these parables break everything down. You know, in very few words. You know, huh?
Talents.
Yeah, yeah. You get the talents. Yeah, very few words and stuff. So, you know, you can understand how this work. You know, because the Lord, like I said, like think of that. Like we know the Lord is a Jake because you know how Jake is a hustler. Yo, you make sure you go and bring me back this. You know. That's a Jake mentality. A supplanter, a Yakalba supplanter. Like look at Laban. How he made Jacob work, what, 7 years for Leah, and he thought he was going to get Rachel. Yep. He was like, yeah, this Leah, oh shoot, work another 7 years for me, all right, and I give you Rachel, you know. Hey, that's Jake, you know. Flipping, the Lord is a businessman.
The average person uses parables, aka comparisons, and analogies and metaphors all the time, but yet they can't understand that the Bible also does the same thing.
Yep.
The Bible also uses metaphors and parables.
Yep. Similitudes.
They read everything in the Bible is something that happened literally. Sometimes it's just a comparison. Sometimes it's just a metaphor. The same way you use metaphors, the same way the scriptures is written to use metaphors and comparisons.
Nah, and then, you know, it's a lot of times, you know, the stuff that are actually literal, you know, now the Christians, or, you know, whoever doesn't understand the Bible, they want, oh, you know, that's just symbolic.
Yeah, when it talks about smiting them with a rod of iron, oh, that's symbolic. That doesn't mean you're actually smiting.
Or something better, you know, these guys literally say, Revelation 1:14, you know, through 15, you know, that's a symbolic, you know, you know, when it describes the appearance of Yahweh Shah, who the word English calls Jesus, it's, that's just symbolic.
Right, even if that was the case, you would still have to explain the Russian icons and the icons that date before the the 17th, 16th centuries and stuff like that. You know, before the Renaissance, right? You'd have to debate that then, because why would there be dark images back then? So like, you know, you have to debate that.
Yeah.
Fact.
Apparently, Moses put in his hand in his bosom, and then coming out leprous was symbolic to a lot of these Christians.
Exactly. And then, like, you know, not to hijack what your brother's talking about, but like another example too, like the brother was saying about the similes, the similars, and the metaphors. You know, Paul basically said, you know, we run a race and receive the prize. And the thing is, like, anybody can equate to anything in his life as working hard to get a prize. The difference between the prize that we're seeking after is something that we hope for. You know, we seek it, and you really can't tangibly see it, right? You can work your ass off and get a big paycheck. You know, you can work your ass off and you make it here in America, or make it wherever. But the thing that makes us different is we see something. We hope for things that we can't see, and that's what makes our faith so great. You know, everybody growing up might want to be a football player, but the odds of you being a football player in the NFL is very unlikely. You know, but people still work their ass off for it, right?
Yeah,
but it's something that they can see. Us being, you know, inheritors and rulers, and you know, being a sub-inheritance with Yahweh Shai, or partnership with Yahweh Shai, joint heirs is actually the word I'm looking for. Being a joint heir with Yahweh Shai, it's really kind of something that's not seen, you know? So our reward is that much greater, and our faith is that much greater, right? Meaning our works even has to be that much greater, you know?
Yeah. Basically, you know, the greater the reward, the harder and longer, you know, you gotta wait and work.
Yep. And then to the brother's point, you know, basically he even said, the brother said that, you know, it's still light compared to, right? So that you're gonna do all this, you know, and almost make it seem like that your works were, you know, done in vain, but then your reward is that much greater. So like, you know, it's a little bit more, you know, worrisome on the flesh, but you know, it's all for the greater good, you know, the spiritual things.
Yeah, that require patience, right?
Yep.
You know, you talk about how that joy gonna spring up. You know, back onto Ecclesiastes. You know, but that's the more fulfilling thing. That gladness that you get, that you received after you done did that work.
Yep.
You know, and it's like nothing somebody can take from you. Like when Yahweh Shai gonna put on them crowns on the Jake, the elect, they did the work. Right? They did the work. They the actual servants were faithful to his name, you know, and to the mission and stuff. Regardless, and it's like regardless of how we feel, you feel fucked up and you still gotta be out here. It don't matter. Like you feel all types of things and stuff in this truth and stuff, and you gotta just bear it. Remember, cast your burdens on the Lord. You know, he ain't dealt with the same things that we dealt with, and even greater. You know, but you can't let that be the thing that kick you out of this marathon. You know, we gotta continue to endure, no matter how the fuck we feel. You know, what's going on around us in the world. Remember, the world is going down. The fashion of this world passes away and stuff. So, really, like me, like say for example, right now. You know, like how Yahweh Shai was out there and he was talking. Jake would come up just to eat because he was doing miracles and multiplying food and stuff. Jake just coming to eat and stuff. I got in the world. My mom just hitting me up, talking about something. Oh yeah, I'm hungry. Oh yeah, I need some help from you Black Hebrew Israelites. First of all, we don't even call ourselves Black Hebrew Israelites, but it's like Jake can say anything just to get what they want, and they don't even care about, like I say, like the sacrifice, what we doing and stuff like that. You know what I mean? They just care about
what they get out of it.
Things, what they can get. They don't understand the work we doing. Like I said, even to the point, we don't at Great Millstone. We do not say we Black Hebrew Israelites, but look, the people in the world don't care what we do. They still look at us as black. Even if your mom, they heard you speak on a video say we not black, they still gonna think you black. They still in the world. We are out of the world. All right?
Yeah. You know, hey man, it's a lot of Jakes. They think the truth is just another religion. Oh, okay.
That's what she said.
You got Christianity, you got, Israelite, you got, you know, which one should I choose?
Jeez, man.
You know something? They don't call the East Asians black. You know what I'm saying? They only call us black.
Yeah.
You notice that? Any other dark-skinned race, they don't call black. But the so-called African Americans, the Negroes that be in West Africa, they call them black. You know what I'm saying? At times, they even call Hispanics black. But they don't never call these other nations black. Why is that?
That's that bond word and that proverb.
Yeah, you got what? You know, you got these Hamite nations. You know, a lot of them are way darker than we are.
Yeah.
You know, but you know these guys are called Sudanese, or these guys are called whatever. You know, there's a lot of Jakes there, but still.
We got a different spirit than everybody else. So it's not really the complexion of your skin, it's the spirit that comes with the complexion that they recognize and throw those titles on you.
I just want to make one more point that we can get to the precept. But I want to go back to what we were saying about basically running the race, right? And the thing that's so trying of our faith is like, if y'all ever ran, right? If y'all ever ran with like a purpose, like say y'all want to you want to run a mile as fast as you can, or in the quickest distance you can. That shit fucking hurts, man. You almost want to give up. You know, especially when you give yourself a goal. And that can be attributed to many different things, but like I said, for the sake of the conversation, I'll say, a race. So if you are say you're running a mile on a track, right? A lot of times the track is, you have to run around the track a few times to hit that mile. But imagine you're running around the track, right? You're busting your ass trying to set a goal, and you see all these people off the side laughing, having a great time. They're enjoying themselves, you know, living in pleasures, right? Eating whatever they want, you know, just having a good time. And you're close to that end of that mile run, and you're fucking dying. And you see people just having a good time, man. Like, it almost makes you want to just kind of like veer off and just have a good time with them, right? That's the temptations of the world, man. You got to make sure you stay focused, man. Stay tunnel vision and see that finish line. You know, and like I said, there's going to be temptations that's going to try to cause you to kind of get off that course and try to slow you down. You know, even people saying, but man, come on, like you've been running on that track for like, you know, you already got so far, might as well just, you know, stop and you know, whatever. But that's just a small analogy, but you gotta stay focused and run this race no matter how hard it gets. All right, you gotta think to yourself, I'm almost there. You know, I'm almost at the end.
Yep. Yeah. I got something if y'all ready.
I'll say a little bit of you know, personal testimony. You know, I ran track in high school, and one of my very first track meet, I only did maybe a couple weeks of practice. And I did my very first track meet, and the coach came up to me afterwards. Like, I think I finished like third or fourth or something like that, which wasn't like crazy good. But for my first one, I guess it was all right. But the coach came up to me and said, "Listen, I'm gonna tell you something right now." He goes, "The way you like picked it up at the end when you knew it was like at the end, he's like, it's like a drive I've never seen before in somebody. He's like, give it a couple months. He goes, you'll literally be able to blow every one of these guys out of the water. He goes, I've never seen a drive in you at the very end like that. Just pick it up and like not give up." You know, and it's like, you know, that's a kind of like a worldly example, but like that's how you have to be. When you see all these signs, man, you know we're in the end. So why are you slacking off? Why are you doing less of yourself when you should be you know, digging that much deeper, you know?
Yeah, you should be picking up.
Yeah, digging them fucking toes deep into the ground, man, and start, you know, really fucking huffing and puffing to get to the end, man.
Yeah, the crown is only given to the men that stood so stiffly.
Yep.
No matter how hard we get pushed on the journey, we got to stand so stiffly. You know?
Okay. Read the precepts, bro.
Sirach 9 verse 11. Envy not the glory of a sinner, for thou knowest not what shall be his end.
Yeah, so exactly. You should not be envying, like just going to their brother's point, you know, you gotta stay focused on you know, how you're doing inside the truth. You shouldn't be envying, you know, what Jake is doing. Because at the end of the day, you know, Jake, like it says right there, the end of a sinner, or we already know what the end of sin is death and destruction. So, you know, you got Jake living all these type of lifestyles. You shouldn't be worried about that, man. You know, you really shouldn't be envying that.
Well, the scriptures say about how the sinner's going to die by the sword.
Is that the Apocrypha? You're talking about?
Like the different like judgments they got, like bloodshed. They were created for sinners. Like famine. We could probably find it.
Second Ezra 16 or 15.
Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get it real quick.
They're going right here. Amos 9 verse 11. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword,
Yep.
which say that evil should not overtake us, nor prevent us.
Yeah, and you got a lot of Jakes. They have that mindset. You know, they follow Christianity. They think what's gonna happen to them. You know, they think that they can just live a life of a sinner, and you know, no evil will come upon them. You know, they think that the Lord, he just, you know, he doesn't care what you do, as long as you say, you know, his name or whatever. That's it. Nah, that's not how it is, man. You got to change your lifestyle, and you got to put off the ways of the sin.
Yeah, so like our people are waxing worse and worse, man. You can't even basically say Christian anymore with our people. They're so basically in touch with their own vain opinion, like what they feel. That's what they believe the truth is. Whatever it is they feel, and it's like then you ask them, where is that mindset coming from? Like what are you using the Bible, using the Quran? It's not even the Bible, it's not the Quran, it's not even you know, a religious belief. It's just what they feel in their mind.
Yeah.
How they feel from their day and day, from what they went through, you know, from you know, from a little boy or little girl all the way up into their adult life, what they feel. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like you can't even argue with these guys because they don't actually do anything from a tangible substance. Like at least a Christian believes in the Bible, so we can actually almost have a debate on, you know, the same playing field, I guess you could say, right? Or even someone who believes in the Quran. We can then debate, okay, well, how the Quran's bullshit, and then kind of go from there. But someone who just believes in their own vain opinions, man, it's like, it's you know, it's worthless, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point. It can go for any, you know, type of our people. It doesn't matter if you don't believe, if you're part of this religion, part of that religion.
Yep.
Hey, at the end of the day, if you're not doing the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, you know, then you're gonna be destroyed. Like I said,
2 Chronicles 15:13. Yeah, someone get that. 2 Chronicles 15:13. It's like yours, man.
Yeah. So, what was
You're saying
Yeah,
it don't matter what you worship or
Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't matter, what you worship. It doesn't matter, if you believe in this or believe in that. If you don't follow after the ways of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shai, if you don't do His will, then like it says right here, that sword is gonna overtake you.
Yeah, every nation has a God and has a belief in a religion, but there is only one true power, and that one true power that created the universe and created everything is only dealing with the nation of Israel. And I know it's it's a hard, tough pill to swallow, but that's what it is. That's simple.
I mean, the Christians don't believe in the Bible.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
They don't,
That's
they
true.
don't actually believe in the Bible.
Yep.
They believe in, because the Catholic Church let everybody in,
Yep.
so it can be easy to join their religion. It's not about adhering to the guidelines and laws
Yep.
and teachings. It's about just getting members to worship
Yep.
the way they set the worship up. It's not
Yeah.
about the following the precepts.
Yeah, that's a good point. What they believe in is a Christian doctrine. They don't believe in the actual scriptures. They basically pull, certain scriptures out of the Bible, and then they put it into their own doctrine. So really, they believe in their Christian doctrine.
Pseudo Christian
Yeah.
doctrine. Because Christian means
Oh yeah.
anointed. Yeah, but they're anointed in a different spirit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sirach 3:24. So read what you got for us.
2 Chronicles 15, verse 13, that whosoever would not seek the Lord power of Israel should be put to death, whether small or great, whether man or woman.
Exactly. So Lord don't care if you're a grandma, your grandpa, you're a baby, you're a toddler.
That goes for the Israelites.
Yeah.
And then to the other nations after they conquer them. They're going to be destroyed anyway. All right? When you get into the kingdom, then they're going to adhere to all those rules.
Yep.
So there's going to be no other God besides Yahweh Shai.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Yep. It's gonna be known. Yep.
Yeah.
Because all their gods going to be totally burnt up, and a lot of them going to be burnt up too.
Yeah, because remember,
And the taking of their nation, they're going to be a lot
Yep.
of them going to be killed.
Remember Babylon here, and then not only Babylon, but the rest of the world believe in a polytheism type of lifestyle, which polytheism means like more than one God. So in our kingdom, there's not going to be no such thing as a polytheism. You're going to know it's going to be monotheism, and you're going to know who that one true power is.
They can believe in one God too.
But they
Islam,
they allow like yeah.
I mean, it don't matter if you're polytheism or monotheism. You don't worship Yahweh.
Yep.
From Yahweh side. You're going to be judged. Right? And they're not supposed to worship right now anyway. It's not their designation. Their designation is the designation of a heathen person.
Yep.
All right. So whether they worship one God, because in Islam they say they worship one God, but that's the fault. That's the wrong God.
Yeah.
Right? So there's no comparison between because you worship one God or many gods. You got a certain amount of knowledge. That doesn't mean your knowledge is equal to the truth, because it's different. It's a different set of knowledge. In Islam, they'll say that they're monotheism. They believe in one God and Muhammad is a prophet. But that don't mean you got the truth because you believe in one God or many gods. Right? One God or many gods. Yahweh is the Father. Yahweh Shai is the Son. If you don't believe in those names, the Lord is you're going to take part in the lake of fire. All right? That's what the prophecy says. If you don't believe in the Father and the Son, you're going to take part in the lake of fire. And if you don't get cast in the lake of fire, you're going to be judged. You're going to be put to death. All right? Somehow, some way, you're going to be judged. All right? Unless you submit to the power. Then according to what nation you're in, it's going to be your final destination. Whether you're an Israelite or whether you're a heathen that's going to serve slavery in its various degrees.
Precept to back that up. Luke 19, verse 27. But those my enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me.
Yep.
Start with Israel.
Oh yeah, exactly. So any Israelite who's not willing to serve the Lord, and when we say Israelite, there's a lot of Jakes who think that if you don't follow after the Israelite doctrine, then they're not an Israelite. Nah, your nationality is determined by your father. So if your seed line goes back to Israel, then you're an Israelite. It doesn't matter if you don't believe in the doctrine or not. You're still an Israelite. So at the end of the day, being an Israelite is not a religion, but it's a nationality. Really.
We got religion though.
Yeah,
we
it's
got customs,
religion.
we got ceremonies, rituals, and such.
Yeah, religion just means service.
Yeah,
To be
dedication.
binded to service.
Yep.
Service. Well, That's service. To serve. All right. But when you use the word religion, most people talk about, you got the big three religions. You got Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, I guess.
Yeah.
Only one of them, the names are misnomers because we don't use the word religion in the same way the world used the word religion. When biblically it refers to service, but it's not a word that we use. Religion. Our religion is our nationality. They're the same thing. Our nationality, our service is to the Father and the Son. All right? So the only way you can be in our religion is you have to be one of the sons of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Oh, yeah.
Ending with Jacob. Right?
Yeah, that's why when you read Romans 9, it basically goes into that. You gotta have both the nationality, and you gotta have, of course, the religion to serve Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. And so, if you could read that again. Yeah.
Luke 19, verse 27. But those my enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me.
Hey, so that right there, Yahweh Shai, who the word ignorantly called Jesus, he's the one saying that. Yep. He's saying to kill, to slay those who don't want to serve me. And of course, that just starts with the Israelites. So again, any Israelite who doesn't want to serve the Lord is saying to slay them and kill them.
Yep. He's coming to establish his dominion and rulership on the whole earth. Yep. Not just one section of the earth, the whole earth is going to be his. It's given to him.
Exactly. Go ahead,
Sirach,
brother.
chapter 3, verse 24. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion hath overthrown their judgment.
Yeah, that's opinion. Opinion about the mind can conceive almost anything. So you got people that ignore the scriptures, and those are mainly the Christians. They ignore the scriptures, and they just go on basically what the pastor told them. And that's a succession that going all the way back to the founding of the Roman Catholic Church. And you can just be anything. Everything's inclusive. You don't have to have any guidelines or morals that are biblical. You can incorporate the different customs of the different religions, different heathen customs. Customs of the Greeks, customs of the Romans, customs of the native Japhites that was here in Britain, right? Druids and all the Picts. You can incorporate their customs, the Norse and Germanic customs, you can incorporate all that. The Babylonian customs, you can incorporate all that into your religion. Yeah. Because they're already used to worshiping them. So to bring them together, they created Catholicism, which means universal. That means they adopted all the customs, or a lot of them, and incorporate into a new religion. That's beyond the original Israelite, Judah Israelite followers of Yahweh Shai and the apostles. So they created something new that was beyond the teachings of Yahweh Shai and the main apostles.
Yeah, and then when you take a look at America, it literally got a mix of everything, like brother is going into. Got Babylonian customs, Greek, Roman, Egyptian customs. And of course all the other customs, and basically all into one doctrine.
Melting pot.
Yeah, melting pot. That's why this place is known as Ahor.
It takes in everything. It takes in all the different spirits from the different religions, different gods.
Yep.
If America was pure, she wouldn't be a harlot. She would only have one God.
Yeah.
So it makes you a whore. That's the analogy we was talking about earlier. The parable.
Yeah.
Well, not more so of an analogy. Both. So we know that based upon America's actions, all right, and what she claims to stand for, that America has to be destroyed by fire. It has to be because America is a hypocrite. The very existence of America is a hypocrisy. So the judgment for that is the lake of fire. America's going to be turned to a lake of fire. That's the judgment. You enslaved the children of Israel. You murdered, you stole, you lied, you broke contracts. and you say it's manifest destiny. So we're going to continue in the manifest destiny into the destruction of America, because the manifestation is not over yet. All right? We manifested based upon the Lord of the Lord to conquer the children of Israel. Now, like it said about Gad, he said the troops shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. So the manifestation is still taking place. We're still living it out. All right? The manifestation didn't stop. One part manifested that tells you about the end of the world is Esau. And the beginning of it is Jacob. So that still has to be made manifest. That hasn't been made manifest yet.
Yeah. And then basically, when you go into the scriptures, it says how Esau, he has a perpetual hatred. So Esau, at the end of the day, he has not stopped, the oppression and the, wickedness he's doing out there. That's why it says within, I believe, Isaiah, when our iniquity had to end, basically Esau didn't give us up, So, hey, at the end of the day, hey,
you harden his heart like you hardened Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Because the Lord didn't want him to let us go. Because the judgment still had to be fulfilled. So we had to turn Esau into more of a complete demon, more of a complete devil. Because back then you didn't have the technology, so the Lord had a plan to give Esau more technology, so he could institute the implant, the mark of the beast.
Yep.
So back then you couldn't do it.
Oh yeah, and plus what says Daniel 12:1, how basically this time will be like a time never before. Yep. So that prophecy got to get fulfilled. So obviously Esau's gonna have to do certain things, that are completely, basically it's completely, what's the wrong word? Basically, hey, like scriptures say, like a time never before. So that's got to get fulfilled. Esau, he's got to go completely over the line.
The Lord hardened his heart so he could complete his prophecies. Because back then, they had this hardcore slavery ethic. Esau could have let it go, gave his money, and sent us back to the east, but he integrated us into his system. Now it's to fulfill prophecy, because just like in the ancient world, Pharaoh didn't let us go. He didn't let us go during this time. Right? He didn't tell us who we were. Right? You still have pockets and veins of Israelites that knew. Right? That were being called Africans, or being called Indian. Right? Some of us knew. But for the main part, we forgot that we were the children of Israel. So Esau, if he was really righteous, which he isn't, he would have gave us the records about who we were and why we suffered under his hand. But he's the devil. He's not supposed to do that. So he's doing exactly what he's supposed to do, and then he's going to be destroyed eventually.
Isaiah 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, and in the time that their iniquity had an end.
Yeah, so obviously, since Esau, of course, he wasn't going to do anyways, Lord has made an awakening so that, we obviously know that we're the Israelites. Is Esau, stepping down and saying, okay, we're going to deliver you guys back to the land of Israel? Nah, he's not doing any of that. He's trying to, really, he's trying to defend, his position that he has. So basically, that's why, it's a lot of agents, trying to speak down or try to, quote unquote, debunk, the Israelites, because Esau, he doesn't want that getting out. So he's not really, that right there shows that perpetual hatred he has for us.
Verse 6, therefore as I live, said the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus I will make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth.
Exactly. So that right there describes to you what the Lord is going to do to Esau, the so-called white man, for all of his wickedness. When you read Isaiah 63, Yahushua, that right there speaks about what Yahushua would do to Esau.
You want it? When you come out of Babylon, when the Persians took Babylon down, we supposed to be let go free. Even the Persians even helped us rebuild our house, the house of Yahweh. All right, because the Persians didn't come up against us in the war. Babylonians did, the Assyro-Babylonians, they kind of merged together, those two things. And after them, the Greeks came against us under the Macedonians. Because it wasn't, the Lord was raising Esau up to rule. So it was our time to go down. So.
Yeah. I mean, anyways, if Esau released us, especially now, there's been that great awakening, hey, his whole kingdom will be threatened, man. Because what happens when the Israelites come back to serve the Lord? Obviously, they start to have dominion and power over the nations, right? That's why you see King Solomon, when he had the righteous kingdom, you see how he's ruling over all the other nations. So, really, at the end of the day, that wouldn't be smart for Esau to do it in his regard.
Yeah, he's wicked anyway. He want to start wars. He wouldn't just leave us alone. And anyway, if we all serve the Lord, then the angels will fight for us.
Yep.
So, and then Esau will be destroyed. So this is the way the Lord chose it to be Esau to go down. That's him to hold us for a certain time period, for us to go out and preach, and then bring us down through our preaching and through the Lord's timetable. So we were given instruction to go out and preach. To the nations, and then the end is going to come within that time.
Yep. Because, hey, at the end of the day, like the other apostles say, the Lord, he's the ultimate director. He basically wants, he basically wants, the action to happen.
Drama.
Yeah, the drama.
This is his theater.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Got a precept?
Oh, yeah, this 2 Chronicles 7 and 14. If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and forgive their sin and will heal their land.
Yeah, and of course, right now, that's exactly what we're doing. We're humbling ourselves, turning back onto Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, and our sins being forgiven through Yahweh Shai's sacrifice.
Yahweh Shai's our propitiation for the sins we committed, committed as past reincarnations. Yahweh Shai is covering all of it.
And 2/3 of Israel lack the faith to believe in something that they can't see, touch, or taste, so they can continue in their wickedness and be destroyed.
Yeah.
Only the men of faith is going to turn back to the Lord to get their wicked ways, in hopes that they can be delivered from the days of evil.
Exactly, and that's what the brother brought out. Those who mind the fleshly things, of course, they're out there the fleshly things. So they don't mind the things of the spirit. If you can go back to Matthew 13 and 10.
Okay. Matthew 13, verse 10. And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables? And he answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given.
So that shows you right there, there's a separation. There's going to be some Israelites who understand the truth. There's going to be other Israelites who they're completely blinded from receiving the truth. So us speaking, or the Lord speaking in parables, which the scriptures, basically all in all is a parable to most of these people. That right there shows you that there's a difference that the Lord put between his elect and put between the 2/3.
Good precept?
Yeah,
Matthew 7, verse 6. Give not that which is holy unto dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you.
Yeah, exactly. So, we're not supposed to, hey, at the end of the day, if a Jake doesn't get it, if he doesn't understand, hey, just leave him be. Or, it's really some people, that they're obviously caught up in the wickedness, man. You shouldn't even, waste your time on them people, Scriptures say to give not to the ungodly, right? Yeah, help not a sinner. So, hey, just go ahead and let him be. He that's unjust, let him be unjust.
Yep. It says he is a heretic at the first and second admonition, reject, right? As well.
Exactly. So if this dude doesn't get him, man, just don't even waste your time.
I ain't trying to explain to Jake right now why this world is being destroyed and Yahweh Shai is coming. If he ain't get it by now, hey, he may not get it. But I ain't got no time. Like what the apostles and others say. What they say about the what is it, high priest Yakalba? If the nigga ain't getting it, we moving on. That's how we doing. We moving forward. That's
Exactly.
Yep. I got another precept if you want, but we want to continue where he's at.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, this is Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 12. It says, I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people, and they shall trust in the name of Yahweh. The remnant of Israel, which will be the elect, shall not do iniquity, nor speak lies, neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth, for they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid.
Exactly. So, or you want to go into that?
Yeah, why? Because we have Yahweh Shai, our shepherd, right? The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, right? You make me lead by green pasture, right? By still waters, okay? So we got our shepherd, and he watching out for us being the sheep, right? It said, I'm going to repeat it again,
Yeah, Con, I was about to make the point, like the scriptures say, blessed is he that is who the Lord imputeth not iniquity. Right? So at the end of the day, the elect don't have the guile that, the 2/3 have. Because why? Because the elect of the nation of Israel, they truly fear the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. So they're not going to be doing, what's contrary to him.
Yeah, they are single. It said, I'm going to read it again. Zephaniah 3 and 13. The remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity, nor speak lies, neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth, for they shall feed and lie down. Right? Now, spiritually, what? We're eating this word, right? Digestion, eating the whole roll, okay? That's what we grazing on, this word. We drinking the living waters, okay? And none shall make them afraid. If the Lord said, I shall not want, we're not lacking. The Lord got us fully fed, right here. Anything that we need, the Lord provides.
Matthew the 6th chapter, yep.
Yeah.
Like the scriptures say, thou shalt not want, basic paraphrasing. You know how that goes?
Yep. You're talking about, though I walk through the valley of death, I should not want, or something like that?
It's,
the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want.
That's Matthew 23. I mean, that's Psalms 23.
Yeah.
Basically, paraphrasing, those who serve the Lord shall not want, basic paraphrasing.
Let me see.
Or shall not lack, or shall not lack, something like that.
That's Psalms 23. Right. It says it.
Yeah.
You got it? I'll read it. In Psalm chapter 23, right? It says here, the Psalm of Dawadah, the Lord Yahweh is my shepherd, I shall not want.
Yeah, no.
Right? Kasar is the Hebrew word when you go into it. Kasar, when you say is I. Kasar is being to be without, right? Or want, to be lacking, diminished, okay? Right? Because remember, we fully furnished. We banqueting. The Yahweh Shai, we answered the door. The Yahweh Shai came and drawing us in, we answered. So we right there supping with him, right? He's supping with us and he's feeding us, all right? And we getting all the answers, all the truth. He's a shepherd. Shepherds watch for the sheep. The wolves is out there. We got a protection, all right?
Like the scriptures say, we pray for our daily bread, right?
Yeah.
And what? Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, through his grace, we receive our daily bread.
That's right, yes. That's it, yep. It says, he maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Right, and it's all for his name's sake. The Lord got his name on it. All right, the nation of Israel. So for his elect, his remnant, he's looking out for us, man. The sheep, they making sure they fed and such. Remember, sheep, you go out and, like I said, you go out in the pasture and such, and you see the sheep, if they ain't got the collie dog or the shepherd to look out, them different coyotes and foxes and stuff, they gonna eat the sheep. You know? So that's why we got Yahweh Shai. And us as also as shepherds too, we watch over the flock, the congregation as well. You know, so it's obviously important that you advise to the council. Remember, another thing you don't know, what? Sheep, there's shepherds that they anoint their sheep with oil. Alright? You know, to keep them from like different bugs and stuff like that. You know, that trouble and stuff. You know? So just like Yahweh Shai give us what? That oil of understanding. Right? So that what? We got understanding, so all the different troubles, remember, this is our comfort in our affliction. Alright? So the Lord keep giving us understanding, the things we get trouble for and sorry about. Hey, we get comfort within the scriptures. You know, we get continually hydrated, continually re-anointed by keep being in the word. Yahweh Shai, man. Okay? Yeah.
John 10, verse 25. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. And I give unto them eternal life, and they shall never perish, neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand.
Yep. Exactly, yep. So, right there, and we already know, of course, the Heavenly Father Yahweh ordains, you know, who's going to be the elect. And that's why, you know, Yahweh Shai said that, you know, no man is going to be able to pluck the elect out of his hand. Why? Because the Lord Yahweh already ordained, you know, for the elect to be the elect. You know, to be predestined.
I got a preset then, but it's a long one though, so I'll let y'all come. You want me to come with it now? Like I said, this is a long one. I'm gonna jump around. This is it's like a 2 Samuel 22, and verse 1. And David spake unto Yahweh the words of this song in the day that Yahweh had delivered him out of the hand of all his enemies. So this is a song. And out of the hand of Saul. And he said, Yahweh is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer. The power of my rock, in him will I trust. He is my shield and the horn of my salvation, my high tower and my refuge, my savior. Thou savest me from violence.
Yep. So Yahweh Shai is obviously a rock, and Yahweh Shai is being he's impenetrable. All right, he's a defense, a ganon. You know, we talk about a high tower and such. Yahweh Shai is our leader.
Yep.
All right. Yahweh Shai is the only way that we be interceptable for capture too. You know, through of course having his name Yahweh Shai. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, and you know, it's important to note, right? When you're reading this, it says, you know, I've been putting the word Yahweh in there. It's the word Lord, which is all caps. You know, when you see Lord in all caps like that, or when you see the word God in all caps, it's specifically talking about, you know, Yahweh the Most High, right?
Yeah.
And that's who this is. That's where all praise and power goes to, right? And then Yahweh Shai is the mediator, right?
Yeah, babe. I was gonna say, you know, basically, adding to your point, you know, the Lord in all caps and God in all caps, of course, is named Yahweh. When you go into the actual original text, the name Yahweh is actually there.
Yep. See, you know? And that's kind of, you know, going back to what you were talking about when I first got here. You guys were going into that name, right? So, like I said, when you see the word Lord in all caps like that, and you look up the Hebrew word, it's actually Yahweh. Now, if it's in lowercase, it's what, out of one?
Yeah, out of one.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it says, the God of my rock, in him will I trust. He is my shield and the horn of my salvation, my high tower and my refuge, my savior. Thou savest me from violence. I will call on Yahweh, who is worthy to be praised, so I shall be saved from mine enemies. I'm going to jump to verse 17. He sent from above, he took me, he drew me out of my many waters. He delivered me, Slaki. He delivered me from my strong enemy and from them that hated me, for they were too strong for me. They prevented me in the day of my calamity, but Yahweh was my stay.
Yeah. I was going to say, you know, it says also in the scriptures how the name of the Lord is a strong tower.
Yep.
He that is righteous runneth into it.
And it's safe. Proverbs 18:10. Yep. Verse 21. Yahweh rewardeth me according to my righteousness. According to the cleanness of my hands hath he recompensed me. And that's going back to, you know, what we were talking about, you know, those that do wickedly, man. They're going to receive for the wickedness that they've done. but those that have done righteous shall receive for the righteousness which they have done. For I, like in the time of King David, right? The Lord rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands, that they recompense me. For I kept the ways of the Lord, or kept the ways of Yahweh, and have not wickedly departed from my power.
Right.
For all his judgments were before me, and as for his statutes, I did not depart from them.
Right. So it's important that we keep the statutes, the commandments that have been prescribed unto us. We've been ordered to do these things.
Yep.
All right?
Yep.
So it ain't like, all right, I'm going to just stop doing it. You got to keep it.
Yep.
Or maintain or preserve it, you know?
Yep.
And also, it's important, remember, that David, King David was a mighty man, right?
Yep, yep.
He slew tens of thousands, right? You know? Hey, he was able to destroy that Hamite champion, Goliath,
Yep.
right? You know? Hey, he had different enemies of all the different nations.
Yep.
And was able to subdue them through Yahweh.
Exactly. Yep.
All right, Yahweh. All right? But Yahweh shot, okay?
Yep. I was also upright before him, and have kept myself from mine iniquity. And right, all that greatness that King David had done and all that, like he had never once, basically credited it to himself, or credit it to just basically like he had it rough, man. He had enemies, right? He had people that were seeking to kill him, Saul, right? That was sought after to kill him, and after all that, that he went through, King David gave all the praise and honor to the Most High, because that's where all that's all where it all goes to. Yahweh Shai, man. We give all praise to Yahweh Shai, because without him there'd be no repentance for us, man. There would be no way of getting salvation. Verse 24, I was also upright before him, and have kept myself from mine iniquity. And therefore Yahweh hath recompensed me according to my righteousness, according to my cleanliness in his eyesight. I'm going to jump down one more time, and then kick it back to y'all. Like I said, I would recommend all brothers read all of 2 Samuel, the 22nd chapter. But I'm just jumping around for this, the sake of the point. This is verse 31. And as for the power, his way is perfect. The word of Yahweh is tried. He is a buckler to all them that trust in him. And that's very important to know, man. The Lord, the words of the Lord is tried. Meaning it's proven to be true, right? It says that his word don't return back to him void, right? So you can test the words of the Lord. You can test the scriptures, and you'll find out that this is the faithful truth. Yep.
It's faithful, literally. It's literally faithful, and brothers can tell their testimonies of how this word has protected them from different various circumstances.
Yep.
Right? Whether you've seen it or not, there's a lot of stuff be happening on the spiritual side you can't see, that the Lord be even preserving us from.
Exactly. Yep.
We come out here, dude can just mow us all down. Hebrews like fuck them all.
Yep,
Bam.
yep.
Esau can come out with the sword and just slay us. Hey, the Lord protecting us. Lord protect us and put in our minds that we come out and do the work, and not forsake, of course our spots and stuff. We got to keep grinding,
That's
man.
right. Yep.
Well, I was gonna say, that's a good point, because the elder apostles are a testimony in itself, right?
Oh yeah,
They've been here for what, 30+ years.
Yeah.
Basically the Lord has protected them. Those men receive a lot of death threats.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That they had a lot to take, or whoever coming up.
Yep, shoot, and not to speak boastfully, but we've gotten our fair share of death through, and the Lord still has us out here. So obviously that stands for something, right?
Yeah.
The Lord is definitely dealing with us to keep us safe, and we have full faith that it's the Lord keeping us safe. It's nothing of our own accord, man. We ain't doing shit out here except for
Yeah, because a quick.
Even when even when the Lord gives us strength, not to get too. I'm sure some of y'all brothers might have seen it, maybe not. But his brother, twisted somebody up, and that was the Lord giving the brother the strength to subdue that enemy, man. That's what it was. That's ultimately what it was. The Lord gave the brother the strength to subdue his enemy, or our enemy at that time, right?
Like if you read Psalms 144, if brother read Psalms 144 real quick and 1. Read Psalms 144 and 1. And that's it. Read it? Got it? ASAP.
Psalms 144 verse 1.
Right?
Blessed be the Lord, my strength, which teacheth my hands to war and my fingers to fight.
Right, which King David, he said that, bro, up. Right? Blessed be You know, I could get it in Hebrew. It's a prayer.
Yep.
I actually pray it too.
Actually, Saki, but you know, you can finish your point and all that. But the little bit more that I'm going to read is actually goes into that. But go ahead.
But they come all the way full service.
Yep.
Blessed be my hand. What is that? Read it again.
God. Psalms 44 verse 1. Blessed be the Lord my strength,
Yeah.
which teacheth my hands to war and my fingers to fight.
Right. And keep reading.
God. Verse 2. My goodness and my fortress, my high tower and my deliverer, my shield, and be in whom I trust, who subdueth my people under me.
Who subdueth my people underneath them. You know, and even obviously with, of course, the power of the Lord, not only we get to subdue the enemies, meaning the nations, the other nations, but also even of our own neighbors and stuff. You know, because we got, like you said, you even had King Saul try to shoot javelins and shit at Dawood and all of that. You know, but the Lord was with him. You know, the different evil spirits that would come on King Saul, and then King David would play the harp. Yakalba Page was with him.
God, we're gonna finish up these last few verses here. This is verse 31. As for the power, his way is perfect. The word of Yahweh is tried. He is a buckler to all them that trust in him. For who is the power save Yahweh? Now, like I said, it's important to note the word here, God, is just G-O-D, right? So power. Save Yahweh. It's literally the Lord's name. So for who is the real power? That's Yahweh. Yahweh is that one true power. It says, and who is a rock? Save power, right? That ultimate rock is Yahweh Shai. The powers are God is my strength and power, and he maketh my way perfect. He maketh my feet like hinds feet. He setteth me upon my high places. Is like the brother said, he teacheth my hands to war, so that a bow of steel is broken by my arm. And the precept here is Psalms 144:1. You know,
it's in his spirit.
Yep.
You know, because like I say, it's all the credit to the Lord. When we go into different battles, whether it be physically or carnally, the whole outcome is of the Lord.
Exactly.
You know, so like, you know, hey, if it's a situation, like I said, we had a situation, dude trying to mess with a brother and stuff, and we have to, another brother intervene. Hey, it's all through the spirit the Lord had me do. The dude was twice the size of me. Fuck. You know, but the Lord, you how about Shemuel Shai, because it does have his way. Remember, the Lord is a what? Exodus 15:1, right? Just let the scriptures read for itself, right? Because we get this how you get your credit through the scriptures right here. Forget me. It's of the Lord.
Exodus 15, verse 1.
You know, say the Lord is a man of war.
Right here.
Yeah.
Exodus 15, verse 3.
Saki,
The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name.
right. Yahweh is a man of war, man. You get that Hebrew word for war. It might be Malcolm. All right, which goes into battle. Possibly, brother can see if you get it, or lot Malcolm.
Yeah, and it says the Lord Yahweh is a man, all right?
Yeah, man.
Fuck Ariana Grande, who said guy is a woman.
That's confusion.
That's why fucking people got blown up in their damn concert.
Yeah, if you know anything about battle and warfare, women get destroyed in battle and warfare. There's no comparison. I can tell you, there's no comparison. They're the weaker vessel for a reason. They shouldn't even be in battle. Remember, they said when we had the men go out to war, they was according to the polls of the men, you know, of the different tribes and stuff. Ain't no woman going to no damn war, you know. Got it in Hebrew?
Malakama.
What is it? Malchama. What is it? Read it.
Malakama.
Okay. Yeah.
Going back to the word lacham.
Yep. All right.
It says battle war.
Well, how you pronounce it? You say how y'all do it? Like
I mean, that's
Malcolm. Right? Malchama. Like the elder Malcolm. If y'all know his name means battle or war. If you
I know, but it goes back to the root word.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's,
but
you know.
that's his name.
I know.
That's literally his name right there. You got that root right here. Lacham, right? Which you go on, break it down.
Yeah, lacham. So
it's to fight.
Because before the word mean of or back from.
Yeah,
right?
or basically it makes it like a noun. You know?
Yeah.
Like a common noun.
Go into the parts of speech. But as basically breaking this down, we'll finish it off.
To fight, to do battle.
To fight, are to do battle.
Yeah,
Okay,
To make war,
right?
to fight, to do battle, to engage in battle, wage war.
Right. The Lord. So the Lord waged war. Okay. What was Yahushua walking with a girl? Was it girdle?
Yep.
Golden girdle.
About the paps, yep.
Right. Bound the paps. Read that. So the Lord, that's the ultimate warrior right there. You know. And of course, us being the house of David coming back on in, the Lord is enabling us with that battle power. First spiritually, you know. But the Lord gonna give what? That spiritual power. Because when Esau come through, you don't think I'm be doing arm bars up. Hey, I'm praying the Lord, Yahweh Shemashai, and then whatever proceeds afterwards, it's gonna come. You know? Because I'm seeing AI, you know what I mean? We seeing what Esau got all this technology.
Yeah.
He got motherfucking things doing flips and
Yep. Slug, ain't no hand-to-hand combat gonna be able to overcome Esau's technology. The only way is through Yahweh Shai, man.
Right.
Yeah, the only way we're gonna overcome that, you know.
Yep. Yeah, I've been meditating on that a lot too, like, you know, because remember, like, Esau do study us too, you know. Hey man, fucking Esau sent an agent that actually fucking know the same shit you do, man. You need the power of Yahweh Shemashah to be with you to be able to subdue my people, like he said, man. You know. Hey, crazy man. Hey, we got mad testimony and stuff. Hey, I found out one time this dude that lived around my apartment complex was a cop. 1, 2, he trained at the same academy where I went to. Crazy. And he was like playing it off and shit. You know what I mean? Hey, like, you know, I don't know if Esau raising a man. Oh yeah, make sure we learn what he did. You know, but look, that's why you need the spirit of Yahweh Shemashai. Remember, David said, I trust not in my bow. Okay? So it's not of what I can do. May the Lord and equip me. All right? Let He equip all of us, right? When the enemy come in like a flood, right? He gonna lift up the standard.
Yeah, Ezra said it. Woe is me, who shall deliver me in those days?
Exactly.
It's gonna be fierce, man. It's gonna be like a battle that's never been seen before, man. Like I said, this battle was with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. I'm telling you, man, this war is gonna be fierce, man.
Yeah, man.
That's why we need the Yahweh Shai. That's why we need to look at the men that looked on Yahweh Shai and the Most High and gave them that you know,
Wings.
Yep. That strength, you know, and that courage to fight.
Yep. That valor.
Yep.
Virtue. Yep.
And it's like it, but you know, this goes without saying. We have to wait on the Lord. We ain't trying to take a fight now. You know, we're not trying to take a fight now against Esau and and all that, right? We move wise as serpents and harmless as doves. You know, if it comes down to it, and we need to, and we feel like we have to, we'll do it. But we're gonna do it, wise. You know, if anything, it says be at peace with all men. So try to,
Yeah, possible.
Yeah.
Hey, we try to be as gentle,
Yep.
right, or mild when you go into that.
Yeah, but deep down in my mind, we might be fucking cursing these devils out or these heathens out, man. We just can't wait to, put our damn hands on you. But we have to wait on the Lord, man. Because like I said, we jumped the gun. We want to put our hands on somebody, and the Lord can quickly,
The ministry can be blamed.
Yep.
Right, straight off that. These dudes are violent. Huh?
Yep.
That's what Esau want. But we come in as a spiritual house, right?
Yep.
Our weapons are warfare what? Not
Carnal.
carnal,
Yep.
but mighty. Okay? Yeah, we gotta know what's in our actual arsenal, man. Like when y'all be playing these games, Call of Duty, whatever cookie games
Or
out there
FPS
these
shooters,
days.
first person
Shooters. Y'all know what's in your arsenal.
Yep.
So know your arsenal, all right? Know what was it, Ephesians it tell you, right? Having our shield and all the different parts, our sword, understand what your arsenal is, man. And know who, of course, is the power is Yahweh. Yahweh Shai.
Scripture also speaks about the rod of the wicked shall not rest upon a lot of the righteous, lest the righteous put forth his hand towards iniquity.
Right.
So as long as we doing what we supposed to be doing, we're gonna be protected by
That's right. Yep, that's right.
Which the Lord keep us, He preserving us in the way. It said, remember, it said He leadeth me, right? In the right way, basically, for His name's sake. So it's the Lord actually that's ultimately making us fulfill the lot that we actually are in.
That's right.
Okay? It's not of ourselves. The Lord programming us to do each decision.
Yep.
You know? And we sitting there, we might think something, I should do this. Well, no, let counsel go before every action.
Yep.
You know? I might think, that might not be smart. It withdraw you from doing something stupid. You know? Time, stop.
Yeah, scriptures say the righteous looketh well to his going.
Yep.
Yeah, yep. Go ahead.
Psalms 34, verse 7. The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So we can't see the angels, but they're all around us.
Hey, you can see them sometimes too.
sometimes.
They manifest themselves
exactly.
sometimes in different ways.
Sometimes,
in the
yeah,
spirit,
yep.
entertaining angels unawares, right?
Yep,
Sometimes.
yep.
But they around,
Yep.
right? They camp it, they around. You know, and also the Lord with us right now, right? And the two would be more in the midst, right? So they around and stuff. But you gotta actually believe that. I'm telling you, you gotta actually believe that and be like, yeah, like they around me, like when I walk, like I be seeing how these people be like when brothers walk too, not just me. Brothers walk. Why these people be looking at us kind of like seem like they hesitating? They want it. Like you ever see that when some people act like they want a demon to come out on them, but they like it seems like it's like something holding them back.
Barrier.
Yeah, you know. And that's Yakalba Page, man. The angels just doing things, left hand, right hand, and just fixing it up for our lots, man, so that we could get through to where we need to go to, you know? So motherfucker want to say, I want to kick your ass today, but I can't do nothing. Remember the scriptures say what? When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace.
Yep.
Right? With them, right? So, hey, ain't that heavy? So you want to make sure your ways is right in Yakalba Page, right? With the law, statutes, commandments. You know? That's a crazy defense right there. Ganon, that's a tower right there, bruh. Con.
Hey, you want to have your enemies stop fucking with you? Just believe in the Most High, man. Pray on the Most High. Pray the Most High deliver you from your enemies and have them stop fucking with you. You know. I mean, obviously, there's always going to be that temptation. There's always going to be that hell. But you know, if you believe in the Lord and you're constantly doing what you got to do, the Lord will make sure that your enemies are
Yeah, you seen Esau? He rode by with the army fatigues. He had the army. He got the army joint on. He bowing his head like, yeah, you know. On the bike like, yeah, you know. Hey, he our enemy, but he didn't do nothing.
Yeah. How many times did Esau run up in these mosques and shoot up these mosques? But yeah, that call halal Yakalba Page. That hasn't happened in no damn, not to no Israelites, right? We out on the street, they could easily pull up on us, roll up on us, quote unquote, you know?
Yeah. Just say something real quick. I was listening to the brother, GMS, Dominican Republic. He was basically doing a lesson saying that, it's a pastor over there. He said something that, didn't please some, Jake's mind. And then they completely just shot him, man, and he died right there.
Damn.
And then, the brother's making the point. He's like, hey, man, that shows that, the Lord, he's basically with us brothers.
Yep.
Because he was basically going to the point that, because we obviously know when you bring out the scriptures 100%, it's way worse, than what these pastors say.
Yep.
But what, these people haven't done anything onto us.
Well, it's like it. But like that link I sent out in the chat where this pastor pulled over to the side of the road to help this man who was a convicted felon that escaped jail. And that's why the scriptures say, when you do good, know who you do good to. Don't just help any old fucking body, man. That's why we try everybody. That's why when we help out brothers, we help out brothers. But we don't really try to help out, every motherfucker. Because and then this guy's a pastor. His whole mindset is, I got, helping Jesus loves. And then look where that got his ass, Don't get you nowhere. It sucks.
Niggas' excuse is, well, he's going through hard times. That's why he's robbing people. That's no excuse to rob somebody because you're going through hard times. But somebody that's given to an individual like that will say, well, he's going through hard times. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Or that just gives niggas to pretty much do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're going through a little hell, or you're going through some hell, it makes it right to push aside your morals and do something that you know is wrong.
Yep.
You don't want to give arms to somebody like that.
Yep.
And people will look at you as the bad guy if you don't do it.
Yep.
Second Edges 2. Second Edges 2. The Second Edges chapter 2, and I'm gonna start at verse 21. It says, "Heal the broken and the weak, laugh not a lame man to scorn, defend the maimed, and let the blind man come into sight of my clearness. Keep the old and young within thy walls." All right, this is talking, of course, about wisdom and such, right? "Wherefore thou findest the dead, take them and bury them, and I will give thee the first place in my resurrection. Abide still, O my people, and take thy rest, for thy quietness still come. Nourish thy children, O thou good nurse, establish their feet. As for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from among thy number."
Yep.
Remember we was talking about the pluck, right? Did y'all get the definition for pluck?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just put pluck in the yeah, and then get the definition for pluck. Because it's important, because if we require from among the number of the elect, that means we got a defense in that position. It's solid. Nobody can take that from us. All right? So you want to be, of course, of that elect number, right? That count.
Yep.
You know? Because, like I said, come with that hedge. Like Job had a hedge about it, you know, and they had, even with, you had Satan, Shaitan, had the ability to do things, certain things to Job. He had it where he couldn't smite him.
Yep.
Because the Lord set the order.
Yep. That's why you got like things like you got like accounts like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Yeah.
But then you also have accounts like Eleazar in the Apocrypha that did seek death. But it was a testimony to those that to live righteous all the way to the very end, man.
Yeah.
And you know that there was actually a reward for that. Like they basically made a whole monument and basically said, look, this is for a man basically of high stature. And we also scriptures say that those that are dead in Hamashiach first shall be risen. So and that's why the scriptures also say, fear not him who can kill the body, but rather him who can kill both body and soul in hell. And there's a lot of accounts of the apostles, different apostles and everyone getting killed because of the truth, but that didn't stop them from teaching. That fear never came onto them, right? Yeah. So there's it's twofold, right? We have that hedge about us, but we also know that from times of old, our prophets that were great prophets, were put to death. And that could be the lot of one of them. We could be martyrs, right? Yeah. But we know that there's a great reward for that. And there's been times of proving of that, that there's been rewards of that, right?
Yeah, it says precious in the sight of the Lord are the death of the saints.
Yep.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, that's that living sacrifice we make.
Yep.
After Yahweh.
Yep.
So when you make your body a living sacrifice, you gotta be prepared for anything.
Yep. And a lot of the times it was they were killed doing the work, man. It wasn't like a real like a vain death or anything like that. Like it were Stephen was stoned while he was preaching, man. While he was preaching, he was still stoning them men,
Yeah, we come into this thing with the understanding that we lambs and we sheep.
Yep.
And sheep is made to be slaughtered.
Yep.
And we do it willingly. We know that we could be killed.
Yep.
Right? We willingly, make our bodies a living sacrifice.
Exactly. So, no, go. No, I was just saying, and it's a good point because like we know that if we do, suffer death, we're suffering death for this, man. We ain't suffering death because we're gangbanging. We ain't suffering death because we doing dumb shit, right? We really consider our steps and how we walk. All right, we ain't about to curse someone out, get carnal with somebody, but we do know that if we do see death, it's because we're doing this, right? And someone rolls up on us and they want to do some real harm to us. Well, I'm okay knowing that I did it, pushing his word, man. Not fucking gangbanging, not selling drugs, pushing on a block that's not quote unquote mine, and now I got to push on their block, and now I'm suffering death, man. That's an unworthy death. I know that coming out here week in and week out, that's why I'll suffer death, and that's okay with me, man. That's okay. I'm okay knowing that, I don't want to suffer an unrighteous death, man. But it's like you were saying,
we running a race to receive this uncorrupted crown.
Yep.
You know, so you could be a football player. That race you running is for a corruptible crown,
right.
which the riches is going to perish. It's going
Yep.
pass away.
NFL won't go away.
Yeah.
NFL is through
Yep.
anyway.
All that drip on the clothes that you got, you know?
The drip,
You know? Yep.
the drip
That
gonna
fucking
be-
that damn $50,000 watch.
Yeah, and Rolly.
Yep. The Rolly, the you know, $250,000 car that you have 4 of, you know?
Yeah, that's through.
You know, you got your mama a brand new house. She doing good, you know?
That's through.
All that shit gonna burn up.
Yep.
That's true. Yeah. Con.
You want that the plug?
Yeah, plug.
G 726 Harpazo
Yeah.
is to seize, carry off by force.
Yeah, so nobody ain't gonna be able to carry us by force. Alright?
Let me read it again.
Read, keep going.
To seize on, claim for oneself eagerly, to snatch out or away.
Right, snatch out our way from the Lord we're speaking about. Alright? We're talking about our actual lot within the truth. Alright, our position as being servants of the Lord. Alright? Because Esau can't grab your ass physically, but spiritually, hey, our spirit lies with Yakalba Page. We elect. Simple as that. Alright? First fruits. Okay? He can't take that from us. Right? Like the brother you quoted not fear the man that can take
Kill the body. Yeah, Matthews. I
Yeah.
believe Matthews.
Yeah, he quoted that precept. You fear Yahweh, which is the father of spirits.
Yep.
All right, well, Yahweh Shai. Yep.
Well, that was it.
Yeah. But, yeah, so somebody can't pluck us. All right? Go ahead.
This is the book of Revelation 2:10.
Yeah.
It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that you may be tried.
There you
Right.
go.
Yeah, the devil
beautiful.
gonna cast you into prison, so you're gonna be tested. You know, the pressure is gonna be on. All right, and we fastly approaching that time. CBDC with U.S. with this Fed now, they're talking about the launch of July, man. Hey, I'm just like, yes, let these 2 months go. How many months is this? May about to be a couple days. Yeah, so May, June, July, like it'll be here in no time. Just like how we just started camping, I'm almost about to end in a couple hours. So we'll be in July. Before you know it, MOTB out here, gonna be out here, man.
Yep.
They preparing. Look, all these damn warehouses and stuff. It's gonna be sea camps, as I'm gonna say. All right, the niggas gonna be in them,
Yep.
in cages. All right. The interstate, what you think 95 getting prepared for? 5 lanes to take a bunch of niggas to a damn place.
Yep.
They got South Philly. They got all these different look. They built and developed these different places. And remember, in these different communities, they could seize your hearse and such, right? So they could just say, like I seen that in Black Summer. The soldiers took over the dude. He was like a fugitive, which we gonna be as fugitives out here and such. Man, they just seized the house, get the fuck out, and they just use that. This is now occupied by the United States military, aka Esau.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
You can't do nothing.
And also, can we all acknowledge the fact that Esau doesn't abide by any law or any treaty that he's ever done with any Israel? So what's that shit called, the Constitution? What's that really stopping? Esau could literally at just whatever time just say we ain't doing that no more.
Right.
You know, like he can easily bring in a whole bunch of army and say we ain't doing no Constitution no more.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know why y'all talking about Constitution this, Constitution that, especially once he takes away all your arms. How can you fight against someone who says we ain't doing that no more?
Yeah.
That's why the whole reason, quote unquote, really was why you were able to give right to bear arms, and it was basically to go against a tyrannical government.
Right.
So you were given that quote unquote freedom and that, you know, whatever, the Constitution to go against a tyrannical government. They decide, said, listen, we're fucking doing whatever the fuck we want, and the people can go against that. So what happens when everyone, you know, they're all pacified, they all lose their right to fight, they're all, you know, like I said, they're all pacified, ain't nobody gonna do anything, they're all weak, soft men, and now Esau says, guess what? We're doing whatever the fuck we want. Your house ain't your house. You're going over here. You're taking this, you know, C-hip. Period.
Right.
We don't care, you know, about your rights and about your freedoms anymore.
Yeah. They can do it.
You know, and you know, NATO, that being that beast, you know, what are they gonna do?
Who can wage
Yeah.
war? It's like who can wage war against the beast?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
All these nations are getting aligned, you know, for the most part with those, you know, that type of one world government and all that, and it's the C-hip and all that. So it's all going in line anyways. You know, that maintaining humanity under 500 million, that's not just the United States. That's the whole world, man. That Georgia Guidestones is based upon the whole world. So that's something that the elites are trying to do across all the nations, you know. So it's lucky. I just, you know.
Yeah. But that's what it is. Like, remember the scriptures say, these cities gonna be desolate of men. You know,
Stumble upon the corpses.
We could probably definitely get into the second edge of 16 and all that 15. You know, because we, like I said, we move into that. This scripture right here is, hey, right here, what he reading right here about being cast into prisons, that's going to be in second edge of 15, man. It's 16. Us getting cast, you know, some of us having to be actually literally held held against our will, that's going to be there. And we're going to have to pray that Yahweh shall release us. And if we are to die, we die with our integrity. Pray that the integrity stay with us and that we have actually valor to not withdraw it. Like say, oh, nah, I don't want, Lord, you ain't going to defend me. Nah. I got to understand if the Lord want me dead, he's going to want me dead. Just like he want Yahweh to do his sacrifice, I got to do my sacrifice if I'm a martyr. Simple as that.
Yep.
Go ahead.
And that's the reasonable service.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
And we counted the cost.
Yep.
Before we came out on the highways and the byways, we sat down and we counted the cost.
Yep.
We could get killed. We could go to jail.
Right.
We could lose our families. We could lose our jobs.
Yep.
We could lose our houses. We counted the cost.
Yep.
And guess what? The benefit outweighs the cost.
That's right. Yeah, and like I said, and literally, you have the moment when before you stepped out on this spiritual battlefield, you had to say, hey, am I actually gonna go out there, right? And you was probably like, huh, but you still did it, right? You counted the cost. You was sitting there reckoning with yourself, but you had to outweigh. Okay, well, look, the world outweighs. This truth outweighs what I can get in that world. No matter how much, remember the prophets, they are in garments of mourning. Our garments represent mourning and such. So we have to face embarrassment, you know. And I'm not, like I said, I don't care if the people look at us like we crazy. We out here in the cities, right? All of the prophets out in the city cussing people out, giving rebuke to the nations, all right, one another. Hey, so be it. That's just what it is. If you look at me like I'm crazy, we got our garments on, and you know we don't eat pork. We don't commit adultery. We don't do these worshiping other guys.
Yeah, we're preaching out of a book that was written 200,000 or 2,000 years ago.
Coming out the Bible. Oh, that's a fairy tale. No, I don't care what you think. Fuck what you think. You know, this is the truth, and I know it's the truth. All right, we know it's the truth, man. Yep. When you forsake, like I say, that's a bad place to be in, man. You know?
Truth be told, we're not looking crazy no more.
Nah.
Because everything that our is coming to pass right now.
Yep.
So if you're not on this side or trying to get on this side, you're the one looking fucking crazy, right?
We in our right mind. We the one getting cleaned up, thoroughly washed. All right? By this truth.
You probably all jabbed up through. So we're not looking crazy.
Right. Us having the defense of this truth, telling us to not take shots, that saved a brother from a blood clot, a damn brain aneurysm, whatever, a seizure, a damn, what they call that, stroke. Future, this is keeping us from being idolaters, trusting in Esau, trusting in man. Because remember, that precept, the discontinue from thy heritage, I think the next one, you can read the next verse, was it 5? Verse 5, Jeremiah. You see what it say. And then we'll go back to it real quick. Jeremiah 14, right?
17.
17 and 4, but read verse 5, I think. Yeah, Malachi get it. Malachi get it. Yeah, let him get it. Jeremiah 17. 5.
All right, Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 5.
Yep.
Thus saith the Lord, the Most High. Cursed be the man that trusteth in man.
Right? Which we not going to trust in Esau. Part of course, what? You proving your fidelity by not taking the Sherrod or the MOTB, all right, the C-hip, is because you don't trust in man being Esau, okay? You trust in Yahweh, boy, Yahweh Shai. You walking off of what? Living off of faith. Walking by faith, not by sight. Okay? Keep going.
And making and maketh flesh his arm.
Right, making flesh his arm. Thinking it is his power and such. Flesh is not our power. Our power is Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. You was reading in this Samuel what? What's that?
2 Samuel 22, yep.
22. Okay? This way the defense is. Keep going.
Whose heart departed from the Lord.
Whose heart,
The Most
his
High.
mind departed from the Lord, Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right? So what's important to do is to keep your mind in Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. So get that, and then remember to get the eye single one precept. All right, keep your eye single full of light. All right, go ahead, bars off.
Yeah, this is Revelation 2:10. It says, "Fear none of the things which thou shalt suffer."
Right? So we're not supposed to fear the MLTB. Actually, brothers are excited. I'm fucking ready. I'm amped. I'm like, man, shit coming next day. Lord will. Please. Like we hasten into the day, right? The hopeful year of all prophecies coming to pass.
Yep.
Man, we want to see that day, man. Fuck the work, man. I don't gotta go to work no more. Hey, each and every day, like in Jake, no tribulation. A lot of times, like I said, we learn to love the suffer, right? The chastisement we go through and shit. You might ain't got no food in the damn fridge, but some way I'm gonna eat. And the Lord will provide some type of way, man. You know, whether it be a damn, like I said, I had a food box fucking show up on my damn doorstep from fucking. Apparently it was the neighbor that got it from Emulek. From Emulek, a so-called Amalekite organizations. She was getting the I call them drops from, but she didn't claim it, so I claimed it. I ate. Simple as that. The Lord provided it. I ain't asked no questions. When I did ask later, then it came up, but I ate at that time. We gotta be in the moment, you know? It's a time and place for everything. When the Lord gonna be guiding us in the spirit, and the spirit gonna be speaking, hey, that's yours. You know? But obviously you gotta be in the spirit of the Lord. We got to have that discernment though. All
And I
right?
believe that
Yeah.
the Lord gonna have it so that we can eat one meal and it can last for 2 weeks.
Yep.
We won't be hungry for 2 weeks. We just be out here moving in the spirit,
All right.
eating this bread and this water.
Yep. Yep. Stop.
And it says, I'll start from the top again. Revelation 2:10, it says, "Fear none of the things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison."
That's Esau. Esau is your accuser. That's who it is. He gonna cast y'all into prison. All right. He gonna cast some of us into prison. Right? As it says, Slagia.
Where are you reading at? What?
Yep. It's in, Revelation.
Revelation 2:10.
Yeah. It was in the book of Acts, the 5th chapter.
Oh yeah.
You know, it happened to the men. Right? They were thrown into prison, and then when they came out, they said they were rejoicing, glad to suffer for Yahweh Shema Shai. You know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Because like I said, it's a joy to see what Yahweh Shema Shai has in store for us.
Yep.
And stuff. When you get the actual deliverance, his name he actually measures up to his
Yep.
name.
It's worthy to be
Right.
persecuted for righteousness' sake, man. It's
Yeah.
just that simple, you know.
19:5. Yep. Gotcha.
Yep. It says, "Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days."
Right? At a certain period of time, right?
Yep. And it says, "Be thou faithful unto death."
Be faithful, thou faithful. Be you faithful unto death. All right? With your faith is in the dependence in Yahweh Shai. All right? Because you believe. You believe in this actual hedge. The word that he gave. All right? These are promises. Go ahead.
It says, "Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life."
All right?
It says, "He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death."
Right. What's that second death, everybody?
Yep.
Missile destruction, bro.
Yep.
That's the second death.
Yeah, which is really important to note. It's important to note the second death. That's the most important death, man. Really, that's that shameful death because you know all the men like we gave the example. You had Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who basically said I ain't worshiping no other gods. So we say the Nebuchadnezzar said, well, listen, when you hear the sound, you have to worship. They said, we're not doing that shit. And then they said, all right, well, we're gonna throw you in this fire. He said, listen, even if we perish, we're still not gonna. Even if it was so that we perish, we're still not gonna worship your power because we know that our power is the true power, right? And when that happened, when he sent him in the fire, Nothing happened to those men, all right? And they were bound up and put in the fire, and there was inquired, like, yo, what's going on? Like, didn't you just throw 3 men bound in a furnace? He's like, well, why do I see 4 men, 4 men unbound, and one looking like the Son of Man? And then the other account, being Eleazar, basically did see death, right? But he stayed true onto the end. What do you think reward he got? He's not going to receive a second death. Having that type of faith, and all they merely wanted him to do was eat of swine's flesh. Now I say it like that because everybody act like that's a light thing, like pork's not a big deal. But he kept his integrity onto death over some swine, and it was even said, all right, like I said, when you go into Eleazar's account, they said, well, listen, we'll even let you eat flesh that you can eat. We'll just pretend that it's swine's flesh, and you'll be good. He's like, why would I do that? Why would I give up all my life, living as a godly man, just to convince these young people that I gave it all up? For why? And he said fuck it. And as he was saying that, they smote him right there, man. And as he was being, I believe we got to get that account. I believe at the very end, as he was being slain, he basically was still praising Yakalba Page. That's some faith, man. That's some faith. I pray that if I be a martyr, or if I have to die doing this work, that I'm still cursing and praising Yakalba Page, or cursing out these devils and praising Yakalba Page as I go. If that be the account, Lord willing, I'm able to see it all the way to the chariots and receive that salvation. Obviously, that's all our hope. But yeah, it's like, go ahead.
Daniel 3 verse 14. Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, do ye not serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up?
Yep.
Now if ye be ready, that at what time they hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, the sackbut, the psaltery, the dulcimer, and all kinds of music, they fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, if ye worship not, they shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace.
Yep.
And who is that power that shall deliver you out of my hand?
Right. So there's a punishment that's going to be put upon you if you don't do what's said. And he even said, well, who's going to deliver you out of your hand? That's a bold damn statement. He made a bold statement. He said, who's going to deliver you out of my hands when I do this? Go ahead.
Verse 16, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter.
Yep.
Like we don't
Yep.
If it be so, our power whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand.
Exactly. It's like they said that boldly. They didn't like pussyfoot it. They didn't say, well, I mean, no, they said, listen, we ain't doing it, man, because we know our power is going to be the one to deliver us. And they knew what Nebuchadnezzar was about. They knew that that wasn't an idle threat. Go ahead.
Verse 17. It says, if it be so, our power whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace.
Yep.
And he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy powers, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up.
Yep. That's faith, man. That's faith.
Imagine what kind of spirit they had to be in to speak to a king that had absolute power to put him to death on the spot.
On the
They said,
spot.
we are not careful to answer you in this matter.
Yep.
We don't care what you're going to do to us. Because we already know the God that we serve, we're going to rest with him if you put us to death.
Yep. Time. Here you go. Read it.
Verse 16?
Yeah. No. Start at the top.
I got a little
Second
testimony
Matthew
too.
6.
This brother remembers it when we were in Bloomsburg when we got the cops called on us because we were being so damn loud. And we didn't like we were just got into this this thing. We were like what? Like, that was our first year in. We're young men. Shoot, I might have been
First couple of months.
17, 18 years old, right? His brother not too far, off of that, right? And I remember the cops come up, all hard and shit, talking about, you got a noise complaint, this and that. And I basically read the precept, we ought to obey God rather than men, Yep. And the police officers let us alone, man. We didn't fear, we didn't buck up, we didn't say, oh, sorry, officer, let's pack them and go. We stayed there, man. We stayed there, another hour after they left. And preached even louder, I think. It's lucky. That's just one account, but go ahead, brothers. Yeah, y'all got it.
Yeah, there you go. Pick your account. We gonna read from the top though.
Second Maccabees chapter 6 verse 1. Not long after this king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews, the Israelites, to depart from the laws of their fathers.
Right, which this is a reoccurring thing. Like throughout the various captivities which we serve, You have different, of course, of the heathen kings, rulers that wanted us to actually worship their gods.
Yeah, basically, Uncle Tom's, man. Yeah, you have Uncle Tom's, basically to convince Israel and to pacify Jake, man. It's what it's always been. That's a good point. And even to right now, we have our people taking the bag and preaching, basically fallacies to our people, man. So, yeah, heresies, and they took the bag for that, man.
And not to live after the laws of the Most High or our power.
I got it.
And to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem, and to call it the temple of Jupiter Olympius.
Yeah, idols. Tribute to idols. All right, keep going. Which our temple is dedicated to Yahweh Shai. And in these days, we are of the what? The third temple. We are a temple not made with hands.
Yep.
All right. We are a spiritual house.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. They wanted to profane what was established in the Most High. Like it's like basically doing all this and then saying it's under Christ. That's basically saying it's under Jupiter and all that. Like saying that this is under Christ, like the actual name Christ. This ain't under Christ, right? This is under Yahweh Shai.
Yep. Yep.
And that Garism of Jupiter, the defender of strangers, as they did desire that dwelt in the place. And the coming in of this mischief was sore and grievous to the people. For the temple was filled with riot and reveling
Yep.
by the Gentiles.
Yep.
And who dallied with harlots and had to do with women within the circuit of the holy places.
Yeah, and you had, like I said, you got a lot of going into history like temple prostitution and stuff, which basically she would be like a damn, it's just like damn near a conduit to give the worship to the different god, and such. Like I said, a lot of these different acts that's done is actually worship to these different gods. A lot of these women that are actually, like I said, they get themselves up promiscuously. A lot of times, like I said, this stuff just go back to idol worship and stuff, Instead of them sitting outside of the temple in Ephesus or, the jump of Diana at Ephesus, they doing it as what? They just go and get what it do under the whole, the mindset of feminism, right? Which, like I said, Esau believed in these other gods and stuff, and these other gods, they promote being an idolater, being free, and not being under just one man and such, being a harlot, having multiple partners.
Yeah, they're under the vibration of Satan. They're under the vibration of these different spirits on the left-hand side.
That freak.
Remember, all these different items, they have a spiritual force behind them.
Yep.
There's always a spiritual force. The idol or the image is just a physical representation of that spirit or that demon. Mm-hmm. But the acts is what you call like a ritual.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people aren't unwittingly they're participating, right? Mm-hmm. Like to them, like you said, under the idea of liberation and all of these different, surface level, let's say, ideologies. Mm-hmm. But behind all of that is really satanic. It's ritualistic in nature to these different spirits. Man. Like you're obeying those different seducing spirits.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, So like, you had some of our people. You got time past different priests of our people would deal with different temple harlots and stuff like that. That'd be a blot, What does the Lord got to do, of course, with idols and such? Other gods and other worships, Go ahead.
And besides that, brought in things that were not lawful.
Right, and we have, of course, the laws, statutes, commandments that govern what is right and what's wrong. All right, so this is bringing in a whole nother way. Okay, keep going.
Verse 5. The altar also was filled with profane things, which the law forbiddeth.
Right.
Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts.
Right, which that'd
Ancient
be
fast.
right. That'd be the different chagim or feasts, seasons, sacred seasons. Those would be, of course, of our customs as Israelites. This is how we were Hellenized. You go into this, the Hellenization period and such. All right.
It was through force.
Yeah.
Mind, it was through force.
You know.
Keep us from doing our our customs.
Customs. Yep. Our
And a lot of it was ignorance.
Yep.
It wasn't just force, it was ignorance. Remember, Jake liked the fashion of the heathen.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That's a recurring theme throughout Israel's history, is they are what? A rebellious house. They're a rebellious house. You know, so they find something that they like, and then they adopt it.
They roll with it.
Yeah. It becomes customary then for them to do. These different haircuts,
Yeah.
these different fashions.
Yeah.
Yep. No, that's a good point. Yeah, they were given into like this wickedness and this pleasures and stuff, and Israel wanted to live in that wickedness, so they like. That's kind of went into Eliezer. That's why
the whole reason why a nation came up against us anyway was because of what? Israel's rebellion.
Yep.
Now, of course, the Most High set it up that way because what would inevitably happen is once Israel served a certain amount of time in captivity, they turned to the Lord and they'd ask for deliverance. Okay?
Yep.
But a lot of our people, they wanted to participate in the ways of the heathen.
Yep.
They got some sort of gratification, some sort of pleasure, some sort of desire to those ways, those heathenistic ways.
The priest have to back that up. Proverbs 12, verse 26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the ways of the wicked seduceth them.
Damn. Yep.
So celebrating Christmas and Halloween, you're getting gifts. That seduces you just. That seduces a righteous man to be wicked.
Yep.
Just for a gift. Right?
So I'm gonna start from the top of 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient fasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
Yeah. So they didn't want you to be an Israelite, son of God. Instead, they wanted you to be, of course, what? A Greek in the Esau fashion.
Yeah, Esau doing that now. That's why an actual Israelite can't refer to himself as an Israelite, or he's considered anti-Semite.
Yep.
You can't do that now.
Yep.
Okay? You can't do that now. You got these different task force being set up to try to protect that community. All right, of Ish people who aren't the real people. But we can call ourselves black though. We can call ourselves African American. We can call ourselves Puerto Rican. Right?
Yep.
We can call ourselves Latino. We can call ourselves Hispanic. We call ourselves any of those things.
Now it's not even Latino, Latin.
Right, yeah,
Right,
Latin. I was
there
gonna say
you go.
that bullshit. Yeah.
Now it's not even us changing. It's something else now.
Yeah.
And then you got the Israelites that are diehards for Esau. They're American.
Yep.
I'm American.
Yeah.
That's what I'm American. So those are permissible when you're under the dominion of the enemy, right?
Yeah.
What's the expression? I forget who said it, but it says, truth is the enemy in an empire of lies. So we can't claim our heritage. And what is that part of? Psalms the 83rd chapter? Psalms the 2nd chapter? That's us being cut off from being a nation. Right? But so it was a law that we weren't able to circumcise our children or even keep our own commandments or adhere to our own belief. And we have that now. We can't adhere to that. And I think in California, one of the brothers posted that they're trying to outlaw the Bible.
Yep.
But even if you look at some of our customs that we would keep, you can't do because Esau made laws to protect certain, what he refers to as marginalized groups. So like where it would be righteous for us to put those that live alternative lifestyles to death, Esau has given them rights and have
Protected. Yeah.
referred to them as a protected class and group of people. That's why if you get in an altercation with somebody and it gets physical, that would be considered a hate crime, virtually in any circumstance. And they could certainly claim it as a hate crime, and you're going to get a harsher punishment. If a regular Jake get into altercation with a regular Jake, then that's whatever, right? But if you get into a altercation with a protected group of people, right? That's considered a hate crime now. And if you speak out against those lifestyles, that's considered hate speech.
Yep.
So we live in that now. Go ahead, read it if you got something on that. Yeah.
Saquon Pasha in Baltimore made a video the other day. They said judge gives Brazilian pastor who called for a second, I'm not even gonna say the word,
Right.
H cost, historic 18-year prison sentence. 18 years for questioning something that they've been through.
Right.
But you could deny that the slave ships existed. You gonna go to jail for that?
Yeah, pretty much. That's how it's gonna be, That's what they're pushing towards. They only want one narrative for people to believe, accept, and follow, and that's theirs. But it's also failing them because people are in mass waking up to all the different lies that have been spread and been told. You got this recent, I don't mean to veer off too much, we're gonna get right back into it. We got Fox News letting go this guy, Tucker Carlson. And I have a lot of people who were saying that Tucker Carlson, he had more open views on the different events that are going on. But that's if you just follow mainstream media, because anything he was really saying was kind of like a fluff version of what was out there on alternative media websites. So if you are accustomed to mainstream, then Tucker Carlson seems controversial. Now, he has said some controversial things, though. But, it isn't quite apparently clear the reasons why they let him go. But I'm making the point that now a lot of the viewership is going to significantly decrease. So all that following he amassed, whatever platform he gets on, they're going to go follow that. And they're really following him because he's got like a cult of personality, And he got his writers and everything like that, and then he delivers it whichever way. So he's a personality. He's a figurehead at this point, But the point is anybody that shares his beliefs, they're going to follow him. And so that's more people breaking away from mainstream media. More divide. A lot of people saying they're not going to watch Fox News no more. They only watch Fox News because of Tucker Carlson. So, start a podcast, right? I think he actually started his own media, either media company. He don't own it no more though. I forget what it was called.
Yeah, they're gonna do.
So he already has success. He's already got a.
He'll do what Rick Sanchez did and Glenn Beck, right? I think Rick,
Glenn Beck is eating.
Yeah.
As a brother put it, he's eating.
Rick
he don't hold nothing back.
Yep. I think Rick Sanchez went to Russia today. I think. I want to say, yeah. And then Glenn Beck, what platform is he on?
He got Blaze TV.
Okay, yeah.
Blaze TV. As a matter of fact, I think, what's his name? Clayton Morris and his wife on Redacted. I think Glenn Beck tried to recruit them to Blaze TV. I think they're still going to stay independent. But Redacted, that's another real good.
I like that.
They do good reporting. Of course, I wish his wife would talk less. She talks way too much. Yeah, trying to fill up dead space or whatever. But Clayton, he comes through, right, on a lot of different issues or whatever like that. But anyway, the point is people are starting to go other areas to get their information. And see, that's what they don't want. That's why there's talks of TikTok banning, and you got a lot of these different media outlets laying people off or closing up shop. Like what's that, BuzzFeed? Vice just let off a whole bunch of people. Because BuzzFeed, I think, is closing down. And so that kind of started an effect,
Yeah, and that just helps.
Because you'll go and get, because you want to know why? Your banking's all going to be done in one place. Your information's all going to come from one place.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, I was just gonna say these alternate media just help them push that narrative of that fake news too. Like, you know, once they push that fake news, they can shut a lot of that alternate media down. Yep. And then these guys that had those hot takes, they ain't gonna be there no more. So they're gonna have that fucking fluff bullshit on the news. They ain't gonna be nothing else. They ain't gonna be nothing else except for that. Like I said, because they're gonna push that fake news media, you know, and that, you know, that's like they did with, you know, when people were talking about, you know, COVID. You know, and all that and the different things. They said that, you know, that's not reliable source. And once they shut the quote unquote these not mainstream, these what do you call that? Alternative. Once you shut these alternative news sources down as being not credible sources, and they're pushing a bad word that can basically, you know, incite some sort of harm or whatnot, whatever angle they try to push it. Once they cut that all off, you know, then what do you have? Nothing but, you know, BS on the news.
You got the fact checkers. Everything is a lie now. Everything is a lie, but it was taught to you in the school back then.
Yeah, it says. Yeah, here BuzzFeed lays off 15% of staff, shuts down news division. Yep. And then Vice followed suit. I don't know how many they. Let's find out. But those are all pretty much fluff news, anyways. Yep. Yeah.
Vice always be letting out, be always putting out, you know, BS on the, you know, I think Vice went against. Then who was it? It wasn't Vice that like basically like secretly like interviewed Andrew Tate on some like, you know, on some shy shit, and then basically, you know, I don't know.
Wasn't on the Piers Morgan? You talking about Piers Morgan show?
I don't know. It might have been somebody did a report. Somebody did a report on somebody, and they did it like deceitfully. And I want to say it was like one of those Vices.
All they did was use all that shaming language.
Yeah.
You know, self-proclaimed misogynist, and you know.
He poisoned them.
Oh yeah, you seen that? Yeah, allergic reaction. Yeah. Andrew Tate. Yeah, he just apparently he said he went on saying that he only drank water and coffee, and he got this really bad allergic reaction, rash and all that, and he said I'm not going to no medical officials or nothing. He said, and you see him he was just sitting there, and he's like all swollen up and all that, all red and all that.
Just recently?
Yeah, just recently. I was like a day ago, a day or 2 days ago, and he basically said like he's not going to no. All he's doing is drinking water and then just sweating it out.
I mean, if the little wants him to be healed, he'll be healed. If not, he's gonna die.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I will say this: it is recommended even by particular medical professionals that a lot of your disease can be cured by the right kind of water and fasting.
Yep.
Because fasting is like a reset for the body, you know. So a lot of things happen when you're fasting, you know. So according to this, Vice Media reportedly, and this is of 2 days ago, the report is coming out of Forbes. 2023 media layoffs. Vice Media reportedly cuts 100 jobs. So 100 employees they're cutting and canceling its Vice News Tonight program. So there you go, BuzzFeed and Vice Media.
Yep. Yeah, and Vice was all in the, you know, what's that called? They're on that side, man. They're on that side with the, you know, the the alphabet community and all that. They're all on that side, man. So anything that they push, they're really pushing in favor of that. At least a lot of stuff that I've seen by Vice, it was, you know, more so alluding to that, you know.
Of course. Well, a big part of their propaganda machine is these different news media outlets anyways.
Yep.
You know, they're there to program people with the different ideas that they want people to believe, whether it's on the left or whether it's the right. You know, and it's a form of division ultimately, because none of these people really got it right. The only ones that got it right is the prophets, but you can go back to that.
Yeah.
You know, so it's going to further divide the country. People are going to go which way they're going to go to these different platforms, but they're also going to be narrowing down the access that you have to these different platforms, and that's all by design anyway.
Yep.
Because they don't want these different forms of alternative media and information coming out.
Yep. That's why the big corporation Google bought up YouTube, right? You know, that's why bigger corporations will buy up these smaller corporations especially something like as big as YouTube became, right?
Yeah, you just had DuckDuckGo. You know, they recently got purchased
Oh, see that? Yep.
Oh.
by let me look it up.
There goes your anonymity.
I use you.
WhatsApp got purchased by Facebook, or WhatsApp can actually be traded by Facebook or whatever. So like, you know.
So, Second Maccabees chapter 6 verse 7, and in the day of the king's birth, every month they were brought by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices.
Yep.
And when the feast of the Bacchus was kept, the Jews were compelled to go in procession to Bacchus, carrying
Right, and that's the
envy,
demon of
envy.
overindulgence.
Yeah, voluptuous of wine and
wine.
Slug. Actually, I meant it says the founder of DuckDuckGo said on Twitter that DuckDuckGo will downrank sites associated with Russian disinformation. A move which some users criticize as censorship and
Well,
a
that's
violation.
exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. That's all that it is. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, Slug. I meant, you know, they're basically pushed to, you know, block out certain things. It says, and a violation of the search engine's commitment to unbiased search.
You remember Google came out and told you we're going to just deliberately push anything that we deem as anti-information, disinformation, or medical misinformation right to the very bottom if you even see it at all.
Yep. Yeah, and that's what people
They
don't.
just came out and told you they're doing that.
That's what people don't understand about like these search engines like Google, Bing, Yahoo, like whatever search engine you use. It's really just a platform to search different things on the web. That's why the dark web basically broadens that search. Things that you can't access through a Google search, right? Like I said, that's all is a funnel, right? It funnels all the information through a tube and allows you to, you know, out of those 23, 24 pages of whatever you search, it's all whatever Google wants you to see. There's millions of you know, searches that you could look, you know, if you went through the, you know, like a dark web, right? There's millions of websites that are out there that you can't access through, you know, just by you know, searching on Google, right? So, and you know, like the brother said, that they just straight out said that they're gonna keep that stuff from the bottom or just not even show it at all. YouTube will just, you know, bring your shit right down. That's, you know.
Yeah, that's why now if you're trying to find something specific on Google that has anything to do with conspiracy or anything that's outside of the mainstream narrative being pushed, you'll be lucky to find it.
Yep.
You gotta dig.
Yep.
Like, you really gotta dig. You really gotta dig. Like, I know on some platforms, like okay, so one documentary I was looking up, I think it's titled, oh man, if I think of it I'll tell you brothers, but I couldn't find it anywhere. I was even looking on Rumble, and I did find it on Rumble, but it was even hard to find on there. It's called America Under Siege. America Under Siege. Yeah, because I remember Elder Apostle Gabar recommending that. Now, I've seen it before, but I wanted to rewatch it, right? So I couldn't find that. So I did actually find it on YouTube, but if you tried to look it on Google, you weren't going to find that. Or bring up a link, but it would be like a dead link. It wouldn't directly take you to it. So just to give you an example.
Amos 8 verse 11. Behold, the days come, said the Lord power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but hearing the words of the Lord. And that's what censorship is all about. Eventually to block out, you know, the mouthpiece of the Lord. And once that happens, if you didn't get this truth, then you're not gonna get it now. So hurry up and get it before they cut the net.
Yeah, talk about the forward military, money system being fake, and the implant. That's what it's about. America, that's how America's under siege.
Yep.
Forward military, black helicopters.
Yep.
Aircraft, you don't know what's its landing and its departure. Spying whatever, or transporting equipment, whatever. The banking system being fictitious. Changing over to the implant system. You know, and the concentration camps, the coffins and all that.
Yep.
Of how America going to see and more stuff.
Yeah, so if y'all didn't see that documentary, I'd send a link so you brothers can actually watch it. You know, but that's got a lot of good information. That came out, I think, in what, the 90s or the 80s? 80s or the 90s? I think it might have been the 90s.
Like she was a lawyer, the chick. That,
Yeah.
She was an attorney. And her husband or something.
I think, she tried taking a lot of her fight in the courts, but she realized that it was, every effort was thwarted, let's say. It was unsuccessful. You know, which prompted her to make the film and all of that. You know, to get more public awareness. You know, there's a lot of people, you know, you tell them something like that, even all the evidence that there is to support that, what's coming, they're in such a state of deep sleep, in such a state of delusion that, you know, as they say, you know, it's easier for these people to believe a lie rather than the truth. Oh, it's easier for you to lie to somebody and they believe it than for you to tell them the truth. And that's why the scriptures even tell you, have I become thy enemy? Because I tell you the truth.
They won't even question. They don't even question the lie.
Right.
You know?
Because remember, a lie is operating on a particular frequency. And for most of these people, they're resonating with that frequency. That's why a lot of people, they prefer to be ignorant. They prefer to be ill-informed. They don't even want to have those discussions for fear or for whatever selfish reason. But you know what? That's on them. At the end of the day, you're going to have to pay for that, you know? Especially amongst our people, you know? That's why the scriptures say, if any man be ignorant, let him be ignorant, you know? You can only say it so many times. You either go and get it and get yourself in order, or you're not. And if you don't, that's on you. That's on you. Because we know that the Lord said that the slain is going to be many. So somebody got to play that part. Somebody got to play that part. You know, Lord's will, and it ain't any of us. You know? But finish. I guess, brother, you know, you were making a point.
Yeah, we keep going. All right, verse 8. Moreover, they went out a decree to the neighbor cities of the heathen by a suggestion of the Ptolemy, against the Jews, that they should observe the same fashions and be partakers of their sacrifices.
Right, so they put it out there because remember, they say you got the Ptolemy, the whole Seleucids and all that. You know, you had Hellenism that went out, so they wanted all the people to be one people. That includes us as the Jews. All right, go ahead.
Whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles shall be put to death.
Right, so those that wouldn't conform themselves, is that conform? Conform, is that the word?
Yeah.
Conform?
Yeah,
is it?
conform.
Yeah, conform, right. We're not trying to follow the image of the heathen, all right, at all. And to this day, remember, like when we go fast forward, we're not gonna be the ones that's gonna conform to the image of the beast. All right, go ahead, keep going.
Then mighty men have seen the present misery, for there were 2 women brought who had circumcised their children, whom when they had openly led round about the city.
Right, so these are Israelite women, all right? That's who it's given to, all right? The covenant of circumcision, all right? Go ahead.
The babies hanging at their breasts, they cast them down headlong from the wall.
Right, so hey, when tossed them, that was a punishment. All right, that's draconian right there. You circumcise your child, okay, death. Cast the babies over the wall. They're gonna die, you know? Go ahead.
And others that had run together into the caves nearby to keep the Sabbath day.
Right,
secretly.
so we tried, of course, you know, Israelites tried to, of course, seek concealment and, like, you know, kind of do like a secret worship and stuff.
And ultimately, it's kind of what we do in a minor way, right? We do things kind of subtly, you know.
Yeah.
We're not here wearing garments all the time, and you know, when we do say that we don't eat certain foods and stuff like that, we don't really just come out and say, you know, well, this is where Hebrew is like. You know, we do a little bit more subtly. Why? Because we have to, man. We have to move a little more subtly because, you know, the times that we're in. So that a lot, like when you go through this, a lot of it can be is like really accustomed today. It's just that it was a little bit more severe back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got a quick one.
Go on.
This Isaiah 59:15. It says, "Yeah, truth faileth, and he that departeth from evil maketh himself a prey."
Yep.
There ain't no truth out here. Truth fella. There ain't no truth out here.
Yep.
And when you depart from the truth, you make yourself a prey.
Yeah, that's why, it's a whole bunch of demonization. Whenever we actually, obviously repent back onto Yakalba Page and actually teach the truth, and it's 100%. We basically make ourselves like a prey.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah,
We got a target on our back.
Yeah.
Sheep for slaughter, man.
And it's only gonna get worse. 10 years ago, well, shoot, when we were out here, man, we could really say and do whatever the hell we want. Now everything's censored. You gotta watch what you say, and it's only gonna get worse from there.
It's like
Like we could really get quote unquote fined for what we say. Like that's a huge deal, but there's a penalty now for the words that come out of our mouth. Before there really wasn't no penalty, man. Like a couple years ago.
It goes on. Let me read it again. It says Isaiah 59:15.
Right under the Southern Poverty Law Center, they consider all Hebrew Israelites black extremists.
That's right. Yep.
We got it broken down by cities, the different groups.
Yep.
Great Millstone is a part of that.
Even though we don't call ourselves black.
Right, but they lumped us under that.
Yep.
That so-called ideology.
And then they do this unfair assessment where if, let's say, somebody happened to be at one particular time in a camp or affiliated with an Israelite group, they do some sort of crime, they want to pin it on the entire group.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But then where's that mentality towards Christianity? Where's that mentality towards the Roman Catholic Church? And these different priests and clergies who are constantly being found out to abuse little boys. Where's the outcry? Where's the outrage? Where's the penalty against that entire group?
Yep.
Why aren't they under extremism?
On the hate, man.
Yeah. So you can see how biased. You see there's a narrative, okay, and you see that it's against the actual biblical Hebrew Israelites. Right?
Can I read the definition of a terrorist?
Yeah, brother, go ahead.
Definition of a terrorist: practicing or involving violent acts of terror. When have we done that?
Right. No, they got to paint us in a negative light.
That's crazy.
And assume it's like we're going to because we have these different views that are anti-American, anti-government. So that's how they're able to use that ammo, let's say, against us. Use it as ammo against us. Use it or try to weaponize what we say against us. And they did the same thing to Yahushua. Wicked Israelites did that to Yahushua. Okay, there was an outcry because he referred to himself as the son of the living power. And they had a problem with that. And remember, they jeopardized their position, right? Herod, he wanted to kill Yahushua. All right?
Yeah. I got a quote on the clip. It says,
so they want. The point is, I'm using those as examples of times in history where they came after our Lord. Esau did, wicked Israelites did. So you said it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse because that's what we teach anyway. We don't teach any man to go out and take anything into his or her hands. We don't haste above the Lord. Anytime we talk about judgment that's going to happen to this country, we let you from Jump Street that it's going to be the Lord. It's going to be Yakalba Page. We don't have no real power. So you come after us, we're going to be harmless. Right? We're going to be harmless. Right? Because we don't got no real authority. Now, if you grip us during the time where the Lord might lift up that standard against you, then all bets are off. But now who did that? The Lord. What we gonna think we're gonna negotiate then? Brother got spiritual power. We gonna sit up there in the court negotiating with nobody? That's not gonna happen. You're gonna bring that shit straight down. But it's gonna be through spiritual power. See, Esau, he's carnal. He gonna come with his different weaponry and drones. He gonna come with whatever he got. Because he already knows that the angels are looking down, watching. They know that they're, when they appear in the nature of big black men, as they say. Tall, diesel, you know?
Froze.
And one brother posted a thing where Ronald Reagan's UN speech was because there was a report put out that a chariot or a fleet of chariots landed on one of their bases or naval ships, something to that effect. Don't quote me on all the specific details, so it's like if I miss some things or I misspeak on some things, but here's the foundation of it anyway. They actually saw the angels come out, and then the person described them as looking like Israelites, particularly like Judites, because that's what the angels are in likeness of. The angels, Yahweh-Shai, the Heavenly Father. So they know that we're the people. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to continue to cut us off from being a nation. That's what the C-HIP is about. That's what the VAXX was about, right? Interfere with the God gene. Okay?
Yeah, they said it was a cigar-shaped chariot, mile long, that landed, set off a 3.5 earthquake.
Yeah.
And 300 men looked like African Americans with destroying weapons in their hands. Encircled the ship, and one of the angels went inside and talked to the commander. Had a meeting with the commander there.
There's a video of Oprah Winfrey. The white lady's telling her that there were actually black Martians in it. And when you look at the green men, olive green, right? It happens to be kind of like purple, which is dark. So they know.
Con, they know. They know. That's why the persecution is going to get greater and harder, and their specific target is the Israelites. All right?
They figure they kill all of us, who they going to come back and save?
That's why the Lord's going to have to lift up the standard. The Lord's going to have to give brothers spiritual power. You know, brothers going to be operating on a different level in the spirit. You know, you're going to see things happen that, you know, to a regular average person is unexplainable, but we know them to be the divine works of the Heavenly Father, Yakalba Page. You know, that's why we got to continue to put our fear in the Lord. Brother was going over the story of the 3 brothers that were put in the furnace. The point is they feared the Lord more than they feared what he could do to them, because they understood that it was all up to the Lord anyway. And that's the mindset that we got to adopt to cultivate. It's not up to Esau, it's up to the Most High. See, the Most High could use Esau to do things to us, but the Most High could also deliver us and destroy Esau at the same time. So that's the arbiter, that's the ultimate authority right there on everything. He fashioned the spirits. He created good and evil, all right? And each spirit to play their part. So our fear and our trust is to rather be in Yakalba Page. Forget what Esau comes to try to threaten us with. It's not going to be of any avail anyways. This place got to be destroyed. It's going to be destroyed. You know, and the elect, you can't do nothing to harm the elect. The elect are going to be delivered, no matter what. What else we got?
Oh yeah, to finish it off. Okay. Kind of says Isaiah 59:15. It says, "Yeah, truth faileth, and he that departeth from evil maketh himself a prey. And the Lord Yahweh saw it, and it displeased him that there is no judgment." Yeah, so exactly, man. You know, the Lord is seeing, you know, how his servants are, you know, obviously following after him, you know, and the demonization that they're receiving. You know, that's obviously displeasing the Lord. You have to see that.
Verse 11.
You gonna preach that?
Yeah, that's why, Salaki, when we teach the true doctrine, you know, even the individuals who are supposed to be representing the Bible will call us all types of different manners and names. You know, grapists and, you know.
Yeah, try to slander. It's a slander tactic, yeah.
So we get it on all sides. You know, how much more from the enemy? How much more from the devil? And we just telling you what was done in the ancient world.
Yeah, misogynists, women haters.
Yeah. And how the hell we advocate for our women to do the right thing, but we woman haters. We hard on the woman, but she's also the weaker vessel. So how much more is she susceptible to the ways of Satan? A lot more. So you got to be hard on the woman. You got to be hard on these naive men out here too. You know? Tough love, man. It's a form of tough love, that's all. But you got a lot of weak-spirited, weak-minded individuals out there that get offended at the harder part of the scriptures. And whether they like it or not, it's going to be established one way or another. So you either going to get it and adapt, or you're going to get it on the other side because the Lord going to destroy your ass. And then you'll be perfect. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. We trying to go the right way, which is through Yahushua. We want to get it on this side.
Yeah. Glory on this side.
Yeah, Lord's will. But go ahead, brother. With your precept.
This is Isaiah 5:20. Woe to them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
Yep. Yep. Fine. And what this brother was reading, basically went into that. They changed everything, right? Anyway, if we did want to follow our laws and statutes and commandments, we had to do it privately and do it in secret, right? And that's because of the rulership that they were under. They basically made it, evil good and good evil. And that's what they do today. Today is the same scenario, right? You can't do no good according to the scriptures and according to our customs, because Esau basically made it as if it's an evil thing to do. He has turned and flipped the things upside down.
Yeah, one of the things that they called darkness, all right, light, was when they first came with that experimental poison, they were calling it a miracle.
Yep.
So they were putting this positive connotation on something that was really experimental, where they weren't being transparent about the possible effects that it had, but they were referring to it in a positive way. All right, light represented truth, but you're not going to get truth from the enemy. That's why the scriptures tell you never to trust thy enemy. You have to prove that information. But if they're being partial, if they're leaving things out, then you can't make a well-informed decision off of partiality. You can't make a well-formed decision. That's why they had to coerce people or they had to incentivize it. But anytime they spoke about it positively. That's putting darkness for light. They were presenting something that was really evil as if it was something good, but that was going to benefit you. And now, all this time later, people got all types of problems, if not, they're dead.
And that's why it's called Mr. Babylon, because you're here wondering how come they help, they got the Red Cross, and you don't really know that they're evil because you can't even tell supposed to.
And they're going to do the same thing with the sea hip. Oh, it's going to make the current economic crisis go away. Right. It's going to cure, because it's going to monitor your vitals, your organs. If you diabetic, it's going to be able to read when you need to get, insulin or whatever. They're going to wrap everything into one. They're going to take care of the health, the financial, Right. That's it. That's it. They're going to make it as convenient as possible so that it's hard to say no. Right? They're going to make it hard for people to say no. Because they're going to come with the problem. They're going to gauge the reaction, and they're going to already have a predetermined solution, which is going to be that corruption. The digital all. But one of y'all brothers said earlier about how we're not going to conform to the image. That's it. Yeah, we're not going to the electing. The rest of the world is. But for which purpose? So that the Lord can come with that second death. That brothers will come in going into, That's it. And that's that thermonuclear destruction. Okay, simultaneously, the Lord's going to be shooting down his pure fire out of those chariots, man. That second edge was what, 13th chapter, I believe? Okay? Chariot that was in like manner to an engraved mountain.
Yep. And no end, yep.
And out of it issued what? The tempest, the sparks, the flame, all rolled into one, which is that, that concentrated fire. Esau calls them laser beams. think was there more than that?
Yeah, no, it's some of
Oh, okay.
It was
Select.
another piece of
Okay, okay.
This is Micah 2:2.
Who has precepts?
Woe to them that devise iniquity
Yeah. Whatever he got right on that.
and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in their power of their hand. And this is how they get down. This is number 2. And they covet fields and they take them by violence, and houses, and take them away, so that they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
Right. Yeah, so they oppress us, our heritage, because we got the law, statutes, commands. The Lord gave it unto us. So, you know, this man wants you, of course, to follow his way instead of our way that was given unto us. You know, so that, and that's oppressive. That's oppressing on us and such. You know. So
And then, you know, it's a lot of times in the different captivities we're in, you know, this really, well, as well, you had Antiochus, you know, he basically oppressed our heritage, but this is the main, you know, captivity where our heritage was actually oppressed, you know, that. And the other captivities, you know, Israelites were still kind of, you know, keeping their customs, right? But, you know, in this, it got completely stripped away from us, you know, our heritage, our customs.
We don't even know what they are to even follow them, you know? That goes back to the prophecy, lo and me, you know, you shall be a people, you know? And basically we're going to forget everything, right? It took a remembrance to even get to where we're at now and to remember our customs.
See, back in the back in the times of the Greeks and even in the Romans, you still had Pharisees.
Yep, you always had somebody that knew it. Yep.
They knew the intricacies of the law.
Yep, the customs.
They knew
yep.
the technicalities.
Yep.
We don't know the technicalities, but
Yeah.
there's so much technicality in the law, you know, to be able to properly execute it.
Yep.
You know, and then plus we in these corruptible bodies, but we coming back into it. That's why everything we do and we establish Him through faith, because we ultimately need to be delivered. That's the only way. You know, the Lord had to become that sacrificial lamb, adopt us back to the Father. Okay. And now we got that covering for where we fall short.
Yep.
Because the law in of itself is perfect. So for us to attain to that perfection, we need to be changed. Because these bodies have been designed to go off. They're subject to vanity. Like even a thought in your mind, a vain thought, that's sin to the Father. That's sin to Yakalba Page. So how many different vain thoughts go through our minds in a day? You know, let alone the different things that we get wrong, you know? Every day we sin, man, whether we want to or not. All right, and we don't want to, so therefore we need perfection, which is only gonna be through Yahushua. Right now we're in a rehearsal, we're under grace. And until Yahushua comes back, we're gonna be imperfect. When Yahushua returns, then we're gonna get those new glorious bodies. We're never going off. You know? So like you said, at this time, we don't have it like that. One of y'all was saying, you know, we building towards it, right? But that's why the scriptures talk about striving. We're striving. We lost. We literally lost it. Okay? We lost the technicalities of the law. Exactly. Born into captivity.
Not knowing anything.
Not knowing anything.
And like he said in previous captivities, it goes back to Exodus 1 and 10, right at the beginning. How they went to cut us off from being a nation.
Yep. Oh, we know they did it. Yeah, they did it in the...
Even though it talks about war, this
Egyptians.
is spiritual war. Because that's our power.
Yeah.
Yeah, start at 18. Start at 18, yeah. And just real quick.
Yeah, that's why, like, in the Egyptian time, they physically were destroying the male child because they knew that the male child would eventually grow up to be a dominant force, right? If you want to weaken somebody, you take out the men. Yeah. Now, in this society, you have that through Planned Parenthood, but where they're not killing us physically, they have mentally destroyed and corrupted our people. Look how weak our men are. Weak. All right? Just because you grimy and all that, you're not tough, bro. That's actually a weak mindset. And that's actually a result of, generally speaking, it's a result of single parenting, single household. All right, particularly the mother. You know, man don't really know how to be a man because he's under the vibration of a woman. You don't have no critical thinking skills. You don't know how to have a form of patience, which is discipline. Have control and rule over your own spirit. Right? A lot of our people don't have that. They don't have no decorum, no etiquette. They have no self-respect, let alone having respect for anybody else. So they did a number on our people's minds. A lot of our people, they really just got mental disorders, man. Right? Which is a spiritual disorder, because where does the spirit dwell? Within the mind. The healing would be the word. If it is meant for them, they'll be healed. But right now, a lot of our people are in the state of an incurable wound, which the only remedy is death. They're going to have to be reborn because they're too far gone. Now, you want to make a quick point? It's like testimony or something?
You got men now that's wearing, they're wearing pink Crocs, nail polish. You know what I'm saying? Those little male, they call them man purses.
Right.
Shit like that.
They say the whole head is sick.
The whole head is sick. That's it.
And that's damn near the average man now, coming up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? From high school, everybody's wearing pink Crocs, or just Crocs in period. Crocs in general.
Yeah, so from the attire to their behavior. Okay? Skinny jeans. Everything's a damn joke to our people. You know, if our people ain't doing grimy shit, everything's a fucking joke. And everything's not a fucking joke, man. Everything's not so fucking funny and cute, man.
Yeah.
And the Lord gonna show that real soon. Which the Lord already, if you got an open mind, you're seeing it already. The Lord gonna make it apparent, all right, when more bodies start dropping, man. Right? Through the various different judgments. Go ahead.
They said a teenager fell out of an airplane and the fucking train hit him. They're trying to identify his body.
That's unique. See, the Heavenly Father is very unique in the way He's taking people out, man.
Yeah.
But what do we got?
This is precept.
Okay.
We're just ending on this, right? Anybody got anything?
Oh, well, he finishing on that.
Oh, is there
The
some more
Micah?
there?
You still got Micah? Start at 1 again, Baba Kasha.
This is Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
Yeah, so basically Esau, he's in his rest because he's in his kingdom. And being that he's in his kingdom, he's able to execute these different wicked policies, agendas, narratives, right? You read Psalms the 64th chapter, it tells you all about how the upper echelon of these Edomites are plotting and scheming against the Lord's anointed and against the Lord and against the whole populace, right? It's a global new world order, right, that they want to establish. Everything going autonomous, everything being linked up to the network, everything put together through a credit-based system via the Quran. So that's what it's going into. Okay.
When the morning is light, they practice it.
Right. Morning is light, meaning they're in their rulership. Okay. Go ahead.
Because it is in their power.
And it's in their power.
Of their hand.
Right, and you got to remember that Esau was set up by the Heavenly Father. So the Most High is using this man to do these different things for the sake of judgment. He's part of the prophecy. Okay? But, go ahead, it said in the first part of the verse, woe unto him. So Esau going to be destroyed. He's not getting away with anything. He's not going to come on top when the smoke clears and the dust settles, right? He's not going to come out on top, all right? Like he thinks. Go ahead.
Number 2, and they covet fields and they take them by violence.
And that's exactly how they inherited all the different land that they've ever acquired. They destabilize regions, they run military operations, coups, they set up puppet governments, they set out economic hitmen. They give, through the IMF, bad loans. Bad loans meaning what? Meaning they can't pay them back. So either they forfeit a resource or they'll ultimately control their government. All right? Right? So they default on the loan and they get control of the resources, the land, the people. That's where, okay, now they can set up democracy and talk about, oh, we're freeing the people. Look at the harsh conditions. Well, you created that. You created it. You destabilized the region. All right? You made it worse. And how do we know he made it worse? Because the scriptures tell you that when this man came into power, iniquity increased. So anywhere he goes, He's known as what? The border of wickedness. So anywhere he goes, wickedness follows. But it intensifies. The wickedness goes up because he's coming to bring all that wicked-ass philosophy.
The freedom.
So-called, right. His freedom is not freedom.
Yep.
All right? We're talking about mentally liberating your mind, but to do what? To do wickedness. And he's really putting you in captivity. Go ahead.
And houses, and take them away.
And he take away houses, right? That's why we went a little bit into it, I think, last week. In about 1864, between 1864 and 1868, you had the Homestead Act. And that's just one of many examples. Like, there's plenty of examples, all right? Yeah, where they started to redistribute Gad and Reuben's land to the different settlements and Edomites that were here. You know? So they coveted, right? They had a strong desire. They wanted it. Go ahead.
So they oppress a man and his house.
And they oppressed the man in his house because they took away the resources that was allowing Gad, Reuben, and the tribes to thrive. And then they put them in a hard, bitter bondage. So the same land that they owned, they made them work. All right? And it's like that today. Even though we don't technically own land, through the government regulation, okay, you can't really profit the way you would with him controlling everything, you know, and it's very oppressive. You know, ask a farmer, right? Even these even Edomites, they dealing with that shit too. All right? Now, we focus on Israel, but the point still remains that as a result of his rulership, he's wicked to everybody, even himself, his own people. He's not a fit ruler. So you talk to a farmer and see everything that they got to do just to grow crops and make a little bit of a profit and the amount of money that has to be invested. That's why not too long ago, all those different farmers, they were committing suicide, killing themselves. Go ahead.
Even a man and his heritage.
Yeah, and his heritage. They oppress us in our heritage, right? They make light of our suffering, right? They sign all the, and we don't want legislation passed on our behalf anyway. All right, the only way to remedy our suffering and what we go through and to really make it right is by having Yahweh come back and rightfully setting us back up as joint heirs. The earth was created for our sakes. We don't want nothing less. No reparations, nothing that you could do could ever amount, all right, to the proper recompense that we're going to receive ultimately when Yahweh comes back. So you can keep all that nonsense.
They got to pay double.
You're going to pay double. Go ahead.
That was it.
That was it. All right. One last one. Come on, quick.
2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 18. Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man, and of a well-favored continence.
It's funny you said about, back in the day we had scribes, right? He was a well-favored scribe, and this is during the time.
I used the word Pharisee, but we had scribes too.
Yep. But and this is a man that during the time where you couldn't.
The scribe kept the records.
Yep.
He kept the records. They were writers.
Yep. Is at a time where you couldn't be, basically openly proclaim your nationality and your customs. Go ahead.
And was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh.
Right, to eat pork. Go ahead.
But he choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination.
It's such an abomination, and that's one thing that you Jakes, man, you don't have. You don't have that attitude that's such an abomination. Wow, that's the spirit. Yes, the spirit of his brother was just manifested it. That's a new way, man. That's how Jake dressed. But go ahead, read that Slocky, read that again about the abomination. Because like I said, like most Jake will think that that's like a light thing, like, oh, it's not a big deal, pork, like most I don't care. Like, no, this is a serious offense. Go ahead.
Verse 19, but he, choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination.
To live stained with such an abomination. Go ahead.
Spit it forth.
Spit it forth. Go ahead.
And came of his own accord to the torment.
Yep. Basically of his own way. So listen, I'm gonna go to the torment. Go ahead. You know,
As
because based upon what he did, based upon his actions, being that he spit up that pork. You know. Go ahead.
As it behooved them to come, that they are resolute to stand out against such things as are not lawful for love of life to be tasted.
Yep.
But they that had the charge of the wicked feast, for the old acquaintance that had with the man, taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision.
Right. So there was a man that basically, that kind of helped orchestrate this demonic feast. Basically said that they'll give them meat that you can eat. Go ahead.
Such as was lawful for him to use and make as if he did eat of the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king.
Right, a little bait and switch action, a little switcheroo, right? Basically, here's some meat you can eat. You can eat this meat. They'll think it's pork. It's not pork, and you'll be all right. And you'll convince the people that you did. Go ahead. That's basically what they're doing, a little switch, trying to deceive the people. Go ahead.
That in so doing, he might be delivered from death.
Right. So basically, it was a way out to where he'll still be alive. And everyone's basically wipes their hands clean. Like everything's good, right? You get to live. They think that you ate swine's flesh, you didn't, right? All that. Go ahead, but let's see what Eleazar did in rebuttal.
And for the old friendship with them find favor.
Yep.
But he began to consider discreetly, and as he became his age and excellency of his ancient years, and the honor of his gray head, whereunto he was come, in his most honest education from a child, or rather the holy law made and given by God by the power.
Yep.
Therefore he answered accordingly, and willed them.
Yeah, so we consider all the things, right? He considered everything that the man had said, but it didn't make any sense to him, being up in age and doing all that he has done and everything that he's learned from a young child all the way up. It didn't make
the honesty.
Yep. It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense for him to live a little bit longer, right? For that. Go ahead.
Now remember, the word integrity goes back to the word honesty.
There you go.
And willed them.
Try to read quick, brother.
And willed them straight ways to send him to the grave, for it becometh not our age, said he, in any wise to dissemble, whereby many young persons might think that Eleazar, being 80 years old and 10, were now gone to a strange religion.
Yep. And that was the thing, right? Basically, like if he does this, it's gonna convince everybody that he just gave it all away, And then, a lot of fucking these niggas, man, are doing that and will do that, man. They're gonna give it all up, no matter what they've learned all these years, right? When that C-hip comes, they're gonna take that shit, man. Go ahead.
And so they saw my hypocrisy and desire to live a little time and a moment longer should be
to live a little bit longer. Go ahead.
Should be deceived by me, and I get a stain to my old age and make it abominable.
Yep.
For the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men.
Right. Yeah, that's important. Yeah, for that little time he got delivered from the punishment of men. But how much more is it going to be punished from the Most High? Go ahead.
Yes, shall I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead.
Right, and that's what our people don't consider. Our people don't consider the power and the punishment of the Almighty way more severe than the punishment of men. Go ahead.
Wherefore now, manfully charging this life, I will shew myself such an one as mine age requireth, and leave a notable example to such as be young to die willingly and courageously, for the honorable and holy laws.
Yep. And it's like, this is what I said earlier, like it's a good thing that this happened, because this is stories that we can look onto, and we know that there might be a possibility that we are martyrs for this truth, or that we might die, preaching this word, and it's going to be an honorable thing, just like it was for Eleazar, all right? And we're going to, Lord willing, like I said, we continue in that mindset and in that faith.
Well, the scriptures say that the words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are what? They are life. So we derive our strength, our power from the words written.
Yep.
Because it's a force, okay? It's a powerful, righteous force. So this is where we actually draw and harness that power from.
Yep.
We harness it in our minds as a mindset, right? And the Lord gives us the strength to follow through if we be of the elect. Because just because you perish doesn't mean that you're not of the elect.
That's right. Yep.
You know?
That's right.
Remember, your works follow you.
Right.
So if you kept your integrity, right, your works follow you.
Mm-hmm.
Very well are of the elect.
That's right.
Very well of the elect. Okay, so that's the point. You know, is to keep your integrity. No, you shouldn't. And then one scripture that comes to mind is Matthew 10th chapter. Okay, about not fearing death. Give me Matthew 10 and 26. Go from there to Matthew 10. I think that was the point.
No. There's
one more?
Yeah. Just keep going. Just keep going.
We basically reading the whole chapter.
Yeah.
Jump to the point. Get Matthew 10 and 26.
Go. Keep. How many verses left? I just want to get to the point where they basically put him to death and his reaction to it.
3 left.
Read out.
Matthew 10, 26.
Matthew 10, verse 26.
Wait, no.
No. No, it's a good segue. No, read that.
Yeah, Matthew 10, verse 26. Fear them not, therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hid that shall not be known.
Go up, where does it say, fear not them that kill the body? Is that a couple verses up? A couple verses up, a couple verses down.
It's down. 28. Matthew 10, verse 28. And
Well,
fear,
you could read down.
Yeah.
Go to 28.
yeah. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
There you go. That's the point I wanted. Yeah, that's what I wanted. All right. That's the spirit that Eleazar was in.
Yep.
That's the spirit that we gotta be. Not fearing them that can kill the body, but rather fear him which can kill body and soul in hell.
Right.
All right. Because the much greater one you need to fear is the one that has the ability to take the actual life, which is the Most High. What does the scripture say? Unto the Most High belongeth the issues of death. Okay? So that man could threaten you all he wants. Right? Does it not say that it shall fare well with the righteous? Yeah, with the elect.
Yep. Yeah, that's why we
So there's honor to those who keep their integrity. And if it so happens to be that the Lord decides that was the finishing of your course, then so be it.
Right, yep.
That's much greater than having a blot and a stain.
Right, yep.
Because that's going to carry over. You're going to feel that. That's why there's a saying, don't you have no shame?
Yep.
Certain guys wouldn't have any shame. They get up there, okay, you know, to save their own ass. They'll willingly go and lie to see the people. Okay?
Yep. Yeah, like Judas Iscariot.
They'll feel sorry once they feel the consequences of it.
Mm-hmm.
But where was the right mindset and predetermination that you wouldn't do that, right?
Yep.
Why not meditate on it and make the right decision the first time around? Not regret the decision you ultimately made, right? And that's what we got to do. We got to use something called foresight.
Yep.
Foresight, right? Is it better for us to continue to live longer knowing that we were living deceptively, or to die sooner and keep that good name?
Yeah.
You know, and men of integrity are going to rather choose a good name and have that relationship with Yahweh Shem Yahushua over anything else.
Right.
All right, go ahead, brother. Finish up those last couple of verses about Shah.
Verse 29, that they let him change in the goodwill, that they bear him a little into hatred, because the aforesaid speeches proceeded as they thought from a desperate mind. But when he was ready to die with stripes, he groaned and said, it is manifest unto the Lord that have the holy knowledge that whereas I might have been delivered from death, I now endure sore pains in body by being beaten, but in soul I am well content to suffer these things.
Yep, well content to suffer these things. Right?
Content. Because I fear him. And thus this man died, leaving his death for an example of a noble courage and a memorial of virtue, not only unto young men, but unto his nation.
Yep. And so basically, they basically said, oh, well, this is a man that feels this way because, because he's old and feeble-minded or whatever the case is, and basically, as he was getting beaten, he's like, no, like this is the Lord's will, and I'm not gonna sell myself short or whatnot, and just took the beating like a man, for his integrity's sake, and that beating led to death, it took his, I'll say it like this, took the death like a man. All right, that's it.
Yeah, give me Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. Well, that's the spirit then. We're going to end on that.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth.
Continue.
Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown.
Right, so we got to hold fast or retain what we have, okay? The understanding that we got and continue to utilize it until the Lord delivers us, all right? Or if it should be the Lord's will, He takes us off of the earth, whichever comes first, but we got to continue to hold out what we have so we can obtain that crown, which is ultimately the goal. We want to keep that crown, man. We want to keep that crown, right? 1 second. And let's end it off on Revelation 2 and 10. It was actually the one that I wanted, but that was a good one in the spirit anyway. Because that's what we trying to maintain ourselves so we can get that crown ultimately. Whether we pass on the spirit world, the Lord gonna recognize our works, Lord's will, right? Or if we make it to the very end and we ascend with them that are already in the chariots, Was that Thessalonians, right? Go ahead, read that.
This is Revelation 2 and 10. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried.
So we talked about the persecutions coming. Some of us may have to go face prison time, right? For whatever amount or duration it is. And these situations are designed to make you feel uncomfortable. All right? Right now, everything's kind of relaxed, right? Brother got different thoughts in his mind, what he's going to do and all this other thing. But in these times, that shit going to be fucking real, man. All right? Like if you heard an explosion come off, you feel the impact and blast. All of a sudden, your mindset changes real quick. Like, oh, shit. But that's how it's going to be. In reality, you're going to be put in those uncomfortable positions for the purposes of the Lord putting you through those rigorous tests. If the Spirit be with us, we're going to pass those tests even in all that discomfort. And that's why the elder apostle Dabaq, you listen to him, he said many a times, be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And you got to build that discipline. But if the Spirit working with you, ultimately, you're going to attain to that discipline, right? You're going to naturally gravitate, well, I'm going to do what the Lord says. Regardless of what the outcome may appear to be, I'm going to trust in my power. Go ahead. And that's what it's saying. We got to fear and trust in Yakalba Page, no matter what we may have to suffer. Go ahead.
And it says, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life.
Here we go. And so the theme came back up, having that crown of life. That's what we're trying to attain to. Go ahead.
Verse 11, it says, he that hath an ear.
That's it on that. That's it on that. Yeah. So we fighting so we could obtain. Lord's will we endure, and we continue. The Lord gonna give us that crown. That's what we fighting for, all right? So we hope you were edified. We want to, of course, give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Rakadash. Double honors unto our apostles and elders of the great millstone. Shalom to all the hopeful elect. Wa Abba Babal. Shalom.
Shalom.
All right.